welcome back to the Everwind Chronicles. I am Doug, your Dungeon Master, and we're a group of friends and storytellers telling you a story through Dungeons and Dragons. So, where we last left off, the party had joined the rebellion in Lyrandil and been sent to the distant city of Rakka to try and restore the weapon supplies from Hethra, the supplier who had gone silent. They succeeded in that mission, but at a sort of dubious costs, and which also involved agreeing to take over security of that in the hands of a very tiny slave rebellion called the Circle Breakers, a whole 12 people, to manage a large international smuggling operation. And so they went through a series of negotiations and discussions, ending up securing funding for this new operation from a secret benefactor of the Prince of Rakka. They decided on a few of the Circle Breakers to accompany them on this first shipment as they make their way back to Lyrandil. Deciding to go by water again, and so they've been making their way back across the desert. On the way, they got attacked by a group of tieflings and a human individual who was, as it turned out, a soldier of Lyrandil, more specifically what's called a finger, which is sort of like a secret police of Lyrandil who report directly to the Ruby Judge. And so finding out that they've been operating internationally a bit as well was a disturbing revelation, but also revealing that it was them who had made an agreement with Hethra to pay her to not supply the rebellion anymore, and instead ship those goods to the crown. They were also accompanied by tieflings that he had connected with in Tir Garesh, who were looking for a purple tiefling. It was revealed that someone apparently gave away that Sura was spotted as a purple tiefling in Hethra's house. There were plenty of people who could have been, unfortunately. And no, it's not known, except that they succeeded in the battle against that and decided to spare one of the tieflings, a tiefling male named Tazik, who revealed that he was a slave of Felgor, the High Priest of Mammon, a different archdevil who is apparently seeking purple tieflings. And so, after some discussion with him, he agreed to try and pursue freedom, basically to try to earn his spot in the Circle Breakers and, change careers, so to speak. Try to escape slavery if he can. Though he made it very clear he's kind of terrified that he's going to be found. But, we'll see. So, they continued on with their journey, and I believe we were on the next morning, if I'm not mistaken, having completed that rest afterwards. So if you still have to, you can complete a long rest. As you guys are breaking camp and heading back out onto the Prince's Highway to continue making your way up west-northwest.
I think we were actually having the conversation where I was mentioned about my patron.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah,
that's where we
did.
Oh, yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, hard stop on that one.
Yeah. You guys were talking. He had just said something about how he needed to have that conversation.
Well, I think I actually said that I have a patron, and this would.
You said the word.
Yeah. So, then so whatever comes after that.
Yeah, saying that we need to have a conversation. That's where we ended it. So.
Can we retcon and say that was in the morning? So we're all awake?
I think probably was because I had taken a long rest.
Okay.
My stat sheet was back up to full, so I'm assuming it was in the morning.
But you said that to her, so if you want to gather the rest
No,
of us.
you
No,
no, you didn't say it in our conversation. You gathered all of
Yeah, I
us
gathered
together
everybody here.
to drop the bomb.
All of us are here with it, and I, said we need to talk, and that I don't remember exactly, but I said that I've been hearing from my patron.
I hear the word patron. Knives are out.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of patron?
That's a good question. I heard from him once several years ago, and then the next time I heard from him was just a few days ago. The Astral Raven is what he's called, and apparently knows Adandra, the world spider.
Does your patron, the Astral Raven, know where the fuck she is?
No, because he kind of wants me to find her.
Are they friendly? Or
When you're talking about beings of that power, I mean, what is friendly? He didn't seem aggressive. I didn't have a super deep conversation.
Your patron come up in conversation with Hadressa?
Yep.
Interesting.
And Hadressa asked that if I hear from the Astral Raven again, that I relay that to you so you can relay it to her, which is why we're having the conversation.
wait, did you just vomit all of that up to her, or she knew?
No, I said it to her, but also it felt like she knew, or knew something. It's hard to tell with her. She is creepy and intimidating, and
Perfect.
it felt like she just kind of knew things about me. And I was like, I can't lie to her.
She knows a lot of things.
Yes, she does.
She hears the whispers on the wind.
Sure. So that's where we stand.
So, what is this patron?
That's a good question. I have spoken to him twice in 3 years, I think. 4 years, something like that.
Let me rephrase. I had a patron for a short time, and it was more forced on me than given. That's the part I'm curious about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how it came to be more than who he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that would probably tell me more about him than Raven.
How he goes about making friends, as you will.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys have seen me do, show the marks on my hands or my arms where I do the blood magic stuff. You've seen me do that.
I heard some people have problems with that, and I was just letting you be you.
Sure. No, that's a type of blood magic.
Like witches?
I don't think so. I've never met a witch, so I don't know, but not that I'm aware of. I mean, I guess I would probably know whether it was like witches or not, right? Because witches are, I consider fae.
You have no idea what witches are, because basically nobody does.
Okay.
You can roll a history check.
Okay. Use the new liquid dice.
With the blood on the
No.
inside?
Yeah, with the blood on the inside, that would be an 11.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you would.
No.
Honestly, you probably don't even know what they mean by witch or that differentiation between witch and like the colloquial usage of witch, you know? So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what witches do or what you might mean by that, but no, I don't think it's the same thing.
Is it like demanding the blood of you in order for you to do the things? Like it eats the blood?
The blood kind of is channeled, I guess, more than anything.
Why would a raven want blood?
Oh, well, So I guess we need to take it back. While I was studying this type of magic, I got a little overzealous, looking to augment things and try to figure out how to get more power. And in doing so, I was dealing with magics way above what I could do. And I got sick. It didn't really work out well for me. But it was during that whole spell of trying to get better, trying to figure out how to keep me alive, that he came to me. And that's the first time I heard his voice. I don't even remember what he said at that
In
point.
a dream or physical?
Well, I thought it was an hallucination at first because I was pretty out of it. But turns out it was not.
Is it a raven?
Oh, I have no idea. That's just what I've not actually seen him. It's
So
voices.
Voice. Okay.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, I've not actually met him. I've
Okay.
never seen him.
Did you ever see yours?
yes. Very clearly.
You saw his.
Yeah. Like I think everyone well, you have.
Yeah,
Not him.
Yeah.
He
At
was
the very-
physically there.
Yeah.
At the very end of the Celestarium,
Mhm.
when he appeared to Arcthurian.
Okay, I couldn't remember if
Yeah.
he was physically there. Okay.
Good old Balgash.
So
You've actually met yours.
I did, and I got signed into a contract unknowingly. So it was too late, and the deal had already been made by the time he introduced himself to me. But he was a devil, like a physical form, and yours is just a voice
So far,
that came to you while you were sick.
and Zarek stands there for a minute, and then he kind of loosens up the collar a little bit and pulls out this. I think it's actually called a periapt. Whatever, it's a little vial.
Okay.
This is basically keeping me alive.
What is that?
It's something that keeps the blood disease that I have at bay.
So it's magic.
Mm-hmm.
Is it constantly regenerating you, or is it just?
As far as I understand it, it's just keeping it.
And this patron bottled it up?
No, this came from my order. Like, this didn't come from the patron. As far as I'm aware of it, didn't come from the patron. It didn't come from
So
the
then
Astral
what is the
Raven.
patron's part in this?
Well, I mean, I got fun little powers that I didn't have before.
Yeah, because you fucked around with shit you shouldn't have fucked with. And then he
Absolutely.
said, hey, you're sick? I'm going to give you the power to continue to fuck with shit.
So, I had to pay for my powers. There was a price, and there's no price for yours.
From him specifically, I mean, there was like definitely a consequence.
Sure.
Again. Yeah, but.
You had made the mistake,
Mm-hmm.
and then were given a
Power.
cure.
Well, I was given power. I was
Well,
given.
You were given powers, but like he didn't come to you till you were already sick. It's not like you got sick for him and for your powers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Look, I'm a little on edge myself with this thing because I haven't heard from him in 3 years. And all of a sudden we're here and we're dealing with all this stuff. And he's like, hey, I can talk to you again. Apparently, he has limitations on how often he can speak to me. There's something, the lines aren't always open. They're, I don't know, I mean, way above my head. But he had a moment a few days ago where he had an open line. And so he spoke to me.
So I guess, what did he say? You keep dancing around that part
No,
because, like, that's my question
Sure.
in the beginning. When you got your powers, did he come to you and go, "Here's powers. I'll talk to you never. Have fun."
I don't even think he said that. I honestly don't remember. Like I said, I was out of it, and I thought I had hallucinated most of that.
Okay, that's
A few days
why
ago.
I'm confused.
Sure.
You know he gave you powers, but not because he told you so.
Yeah. it was just there
So
when
how
I
do you
got
know
better.
they're from your patron?
I didn't have him before he spoke to me, and that crazy magic I was dealing with did not do me any favors. It again did this. That wasn't from him. That was just from me. That did not give me anything.
Your ugliness.
Yes. My ugliness. Just awful, ugly. Yeah. But as far as what he said a few days ago, find a Dondra, find... I think he just said a dragon. He didn't give the actual name, right? I don't think he actually... I've got Hero written down, but I'm pretty sure I assumed it was
I
Hero.
think you said that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to-
Find a Dondra, find the Emerald Dragon, and I need to find portals, apparently.
I'm sorry.
I
You need
think
to
if
find...
I remember correctly, the Emerald Dragon was more of a... Well, if you do find him, if you do find anything about him,
Let
that's
him know.
important.
Okay.
Not like a go find
Oh,
him.
gotcha.
Like a,
So I
you
just
hear something, that's what you
I'm sorry. You need to find the
if-
Emerald Dragon.
If I hear anything about the Emerald Dragon, so it's apparently important to know.
Was that,
Yeah, he's very important to know.
You know about the Emerald Dragon.
Was that balance?
Yes.
Oh, the guy that
I don't know much
you
about
guys
that.
traveled
But
with,
it's
your
also
friend that you
one
travel
of the
with.
creatures like that that protects
Like the world
the veil.
spider.
Yeah. Between planes.
It is very important.
He can travel between planes.
No, he protects the
Oh, he
between-
protects. Okay,
just like the world spider.
Well,
And
that's pretty important.
I believe we learned about another one too, but I can't remember.
He the lover, wife,
Yeah, I'd have to-
person,
I'd have to relook
creature,
through my notes.
dragon.
Well, as a reminder, since it's been quite a while, Hera was the former leader of the Eldrin.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was not necessarily associated as a weaver like the World Spider and the others.
But it was similar to the whole part of that same kind of observation of that space about the protection between.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was concerned with the veil.
Yeah. So,
That was Valen's order.
so Emerald Dragon, Adondra.
And apparently, I need to find portals between planes.
Did this raven say this in a threatening manner?
No, not threatening at all. I mean, it was. He really needs to find a Dondra, and I think that part of. For some reason, he thought that I could find portals. I had some kind of ability to do that. Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, technically, we know where two are.
Where two
Portals.
portals are? You guys have been through portals to another. Well, you did mention the Feywild, yeah.
And we met the protector of another portal that goes to the demon realm, which is another plane.
I think you guys met.
No, you were there.
You were there.
The creepy dude that came out of the sand.
The one I protected.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Well, technically 3 then, because we know what's his face from the fire plane. Because we went through the painting.
Went to a painting?
I
Vagino?
guess that is. Refresh me where that painting was.
In the fuck
It was
up.
in the Mad Wizard's lair under the city.
Okay.
You went through it to get a key, and you rescued Vagino on the way.
Yeah, and didn't that crash? Like,
You still had the painting.
Yeah, we took the painting.
where's the painting?
It's at our house.
Oh my god.
With our scary ghost lady protecting it.
It's been a long campaign.
Yeah.
So,
2 years ago.
Forgot
That's
when
the
we
portal
saved-
to the fire plane that we
when we
carried
saved
around.
Frappuccino.
yeah. So 3 portals to 3 different planes.
Yeah.
We have one, been through the other, and are aware of the third.
We've been through both of them.
Well, no, the demon realm.
But we went
Is
through
that
the
Shadow
paint.
Plane?
9 hells.
9 Hells? That is a different plane, right?
I mean, we've been poofed to other planes before, but
Yeah, but he went back. We know in the mountains, our snake buddy is protecting.
yes.
The
What I'm
gates
saying
of
is
Nine
we've been
Hells.
through the painting and back, and we went through the Feywild.
Yes. Yeah, but we don't know now. But we don't own the Feywild one. We just
No,
know
no,
it's-
we do, but we do own the painting.
Yeah. So there's
That's
3
interesting.
portals. So I would say he's not wrong. Like, I don't know if
It sounds like you guys have an ability to find portals.
But he specifically wanted to be friends with you because you could do it.
Yeah, and seemed a little disconcerted, or not maybe disconcerted, let down when I told him that I don't know what he's talking about, that I can't do that. He seemed to think that I could at one point. And maybe I could at one point. Who knows what I'm missing?
What do you mean, what are you missing?
I'm trying to remember if you were in the room with any of those conversations. Yeah. My apparently my memories have been messed with, where I just have whole swaths of details that are no longer there, and it seems to be related to the fake creature we met in the ocean.
I love Selena, but fuck her weird little Feywild so fucking much. And all the weird creatures that come out of that stupid fucking Feywild. I love Cithras in his own weird way. Of course I love Storm with my whole chest. But fuck their homeland and all the weird shit that comes out of it. Flames burning on the flames.
That was the other point of that conversation, besides you just catching up with her, was figuring out how to fix that.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys did have that conversation. I was like,
Just Tara forgot, but in character she wanted to be reminded.
no,
It's okay.
totally cool.
Yeah, I tried to fix him. I thought I would. And I heard from the hag myself.
Which now we basically know that she does have the power to do it, but it's probably going to summon the hag at the least, if not a coven, right? Of hags?
Potentially.
Maybe.
Is that the word for a grouping of hags? Coven?
Coven, yeah.
Murder.
That's the word Selena used.
Yep. Okay.
So it's-
So we can deal with that. We just may want to be in a better position.
I'd like to not get my ass kicked after the several days of getting my ass nearly kicked by just my home country.
Yeah, no, this place sucks.
But to be clear, she has the ability to try.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could.
I don't know it'll succeed.
Because Selena said it's powerful magic, but depending on the power of the Fae, but even more powerful if it's agreed upon.
Yeah.
Like, a bargain is, like, really, really powerful.
Remember we even talked about like storm and like removing curses and stuff, and they were like, it's different than your average curse. Or whatever.
Not like regular curses.
Right.
Yeah, there's Fae bargains and debts and things like that are really powerful, integral magic to their whatever they are.
It's just easy. It's possible.
Yeah. Anything's possible.
Did she just take your memories, or did she actually take your ability to do it? Because if it's just you don't remember that you can do it,
Do what?
Find portals.
If it's just that you can't remember how to do it, but you still innately can do it, then it's just we beat the shit out of you until you spark something in you. I don't know. I don't know how magic works.
Takes a step back, Marilyn. All right. I don't like where this is going.
Are your daggers still out?
Probably.
I haven't technically put them away yet.
Okay. I don't like the sound of any of this.
So, you don't really remember the first conversation. The second conversation was
Recent.
find these things. So it sounds like we just need to learn more about this Astro Raven.
Yeah, he seemed, even though he didn't sound aggressive or malicious, he was eager to find a way through a portal, and I think he was trying to find a way to this plane, right? The Astro Raven, he wanted to find a way to this plane? Is that what it was?
No.
Okay, he wanted to go through a portal for something, to find the Dawn drugs. It was really important. I remember that part. I thought it was to get to this plane.
No, nothing about that.
Okay.
He,
Man.
well, let me go back.
Sorry, I thought it was he actually wanted me to find the portal for him.
Yeah, because that changes motive a bit.
Yeah.
So we need to find an astral pigeon.
Oh, God. We're just gonna play Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
And the Astral Sea.
But you just gotta go. I mean, if you play Duck Hunt like you did as a kid, you just put your bow right up against the astral pigeon and fire
Yeah,
it.
it's like right up against the
Yeah,
screen.
You can't miss it.
Because it's definitely how that sensor works.
For all you kids who obviously know what Duck Hunt is.
It's the OG.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find it. No, he's not trying to look through. He's not trying to get through.
Okay.
But he is. What he said was that she is for the material plane what he is for the astral sea.
I remember that.
And that it is really important that she gets found.
Okay.
There are others like them missing as well. But she is probably the most important because she's over the material plane.
Okay.
You don't know what that means, but and I don't remember exactly the wording because I don't have my notes. I don't know what happened to my notes here, but yeah, the idea is that he did contact you for, you're right, something that had to do with crossing planes or portals and finding portals and that sort of thing that you just don't remember at all. And so he was kind of disappointed in that, but he was, he's just like, well, you need to
Figure it out.
Extremely important. Yeah.
So just pretend that was in Sarek's voice.
Okay.
Sarek?
So
Could throw my voice.
this raven is similar to the world spider, this dragon, whatever. You guys seem to know a little bit more about those two characters. I mean,
Well, the Emerald Dragon, definitely, because that was Valen's order. But
so these beings can be trusted?
trust is a big word. They are integral.
How did Hadressa react when... I don't know how much you shared with her, but I mean...
Hadressa does not react. Like, she stays flat.
That is true.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Just drop life-altering information. She's like, okay. So, she did not react
Okay.
really at all, other than to say, I need to know when he talks to you again, and to tell Stoic to relay any messages that he gives me.
I mean, if you're supposed to find the world spider, then there must be some sort of lead or some sort of clue that you have access to that can guide you somewhere on this journey of discovery.
Nope. No, not that I know of. It's just that she's really important to find, and that's all I've got.
How the fuck is this voice raven supposed to get any information from you if it's like, hey, I need you to find something. Goodbye. Like,
That was kind of the conversation, actually. I mean, if you really want to nutshell it, that was the conversation. I need you to do these things. Deuces.
You got to remind you, you did get the impression that this was almost, roll an insight check, actually.
Oh, hey, dirty 20.
hey.
Yeah.
So, thinking back on this, as you're thinking back through this, you almost get the vague impression of, like, the word might be a slight exaggeration, but almost like an act of desperation. Like, this is not his specialty. Like, he's not supposed to be dealing with anybody on this plane. Like, that's not his thing. But the one who is gone, and so he's, like, trying to do what he can from a distance, a very very great distance, so to speak, and
So the Astral Temp Agency reached out and said, hey, we need someone to replace Adandra for a minute.
well, no, it's more like there is a vacuum. He can't do anything about that, but he's trying to reach out wherever with basic, vague tiny influence he can do in this plane, you know, it's like he's trying to use to figure out what happened or what can be done. Because he doesn't know what's going on either, like as far as the other ones going missing and you know, he doesn't even know if they're alive, that sort of thing. So it's like he is very limited, very, very limited in what he can do in this plane. And maybe in general you don't know what the role of the Weavers are. It's just this smells like an act of desperation.
And I'm his conduit into this plane, essentially.
You don't know if you're just what he found when he reached out, or if you were sought out specifically, or anything. You don't know how this.
Just the closest object.
Yeah.
Reaching out and you're what he grabbed. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know if that's how it worked, or if it was more specific than that.
So,
But either way, it just felt like a.
Yeah, he felt desperate.
call center. You're the only one that picked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, have you tried to reach out to your people and see what they know? Because obviously they knew you before. You can't remember shit.
You don't really have people.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, you have whoever gave you that vial.
The blood hunters. I mean, we haven't really had a whole lot of time to here recently. Maybe once we get this stuff back to Lyrandil, I can figure that out. I mean, I don't have a way to contact them.
I mean, sure, as soon as we stay in one place long enough to send a message that takes a month to get there and a month to get back, I'm sure we can communicate.
I feel like I might be able to figure something out, so that I'm not always asking you for a little bit of jostling. Although yours is a much more efficient system than I think I could come up with.
That's true.
But I think I could possibly figure out something with those, do you remember those creatures that we found? With the birds?
Yeah.
I think we could figure something out.
My eyebrows are just coming back.
You know, we also have an Aarakocra friend now. Just saying.
Yeah, he's not busy.
Listen.
There's only 12 of them.
13. We barely, 12 and a half. 12 and a 10.
So each counts as one.
Intern.
12 in the intern.
Yeah.
12 angry jurors and that one intern on staff. Yeah. Maybe we can figure something. I mean, I'd have to be back in there until I think to figure some additional shit out, but potentially we could find better communication channels. It's still a lot of it based on what I already know in places I've already been.
In the meantime, I open my book and I start to write to Endurial.
Okay.
Hello, Endurial. We are reaching out because Hadressa had wished us to contact her if the astral raven had reached out to a companion of ours. And he has.
What since the last time they spoke?
Yeah, well, how long ago was this?
It was
Before Hadressa.
Before Hadressa.
Oh, yeah. It was before address.
That's how the conversation came.
Yeah.
But he hasn't reached out to you again since.
No.
Oh, well then.
I don't know when he'll.
I scribble that out. I don't know how that works.
Have we
Equivalent
spoken
brain
to him
freeze,
about the
yeah.
Astral Raven yet?
No, I'm gonna ask questions, but I
Yeah.
you were like, he wants me to tell you to tell her when I hear her. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Hey, we heard from him.
Like in future tense.
Yeah, I didn't know it
Future
hadn't
tense.
happened yet. I was thinking that was recent.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I really did. I thought Hadressa was after the first time, but not after the searching part.
Okay.
But I'll still reach out to him and go, just for my own peace of mind, what do you know about the astral raven? And is it an entity that can be trusted? Or at least is on looking for the benefit of existence? Let's get a read since you've got nothing.
Yeah.
And you don't remember even if you got the read on anything. I don't know why I was sick. Somebody said, hey, babe, you want some power? And he's like, sure,
Yeah.
why the fuck not?
Absolutely.
No, he doesn't even know that. He just woke up. It's like
I could do things now.
I was sick. And now I have powers. It must be because of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like lucky socks. Your team won because you were wearing those socks today. That must be the reason they won. You have no proof.
Yeah.
That the Astral
yeah.
Raven, like, there's no confirmation anywhere.
Yeah.
You're just going, that must be the reason.
Yeah, making up an assumption.
So.
So, after a moment, you read him replying. Yes, it was relayed to me that he had made contact with your new companion. This is both disturbing in its own way and encouraging. Encouraging that he is still there, and is attentive to his duties, which is never in doubt, but disturbing that he would feel the need to reach out to a plane other than his own. He is the chronicler called him the Astral Raven because he shifts the winds of fate in the astral sea in order to protect the veil. Each realm has a weaver. Idandra, the world spider, was called such because she weaves the threads of fate. Each of them have a slightly different expression of what they do, but it all amounts to great power in a strange place in the universe to try and protect the veil. The alchemist, the tinkerer, the carver, the carpenter, the sculptor, so on and so forth, they all protect each, do their duty within each realm.
I'm reading aloud as it's coming across.
So I trust him to do what he sees best to protect the veil. Understanding what he does is another matter entirely, for these are beings beyond mortal comprehension. And what they do is, what they are capable of comprehending is far beyond even someone like me. And so their decisions might seem strange, but that is their purpose for existence.
I'll reply back. Thank you. You've greatly put my mind at ease. As you know, I've not had the best experience with patrons.
Well, such caution is certainly justified. But in this case, although unusual, unless there's some great deception afoot, then that does seem unlikely because the Weavers are a secret. Which is why I did not tell you about them immediately. For reasons that should seem obvious.
Thank you. Sorry for scratching out words.
Does he have anything that could help us with our friend who has a bit of selective memory? Well, selective just not for his selection. Or a way to trigger an innate ability if he can't remember how to access
I
it.
thought about that. Like,
Or you could ask him if he knows anything about a being that is somehow good at finding portals? Like him, if that's a possible thing, or...
okay.
technically I have a tool for an access to a portal right now.
So I'm sure I'll start writing to him again. I'm sure your Adressa has made you aware of our friend. And also what he's been told by the Astral Raven. He believes he has the abilities, or at least the Raven believes he has the abilities to locate portals or places where the veil is thin. But he has no idea how to use that ability if he in fact has it. Is there any advice you could offer?
I still say just beat the shit out of him.
What a curious thing to assume, as dealing with the crossing of planes and is lost magic. Just as crossing long distances is lost magic. And so what portals there are either should not be or are ancient. I have known of people throughout history who have found them and utilized them, and there are other planes in which they are more frequent, but it would be an unusual ability to be able to find it. I am not sure why he would believe that. But that is not to say he's wrong.
Well, I know you have access to many histories. If you have time, if you could maybe read up on some of the histories of the people that have had that before and how they went about locating those portals, it may give us a clue.
Well, there was... You could look at it as though almost like two different periods of history, because it was not always lost magic. But there was a time, some 1,000 years ago, when it was, you might say, removed from the world as we know it. Except for those beings, of course, that have such power. Such as I believe you experienced at the hands of the Great Furred One. But I shall check.
Also, I hate to ask this, is there any magic you know of, or that could help break a Fey deal? One particularly that was given into willingly with a hag?
Fae, like certain other creatures in the universe, have their own system of debts and deals that are woven into their very being. If the creature cursed someone unwillingly, then it would depend on the power of the creature casting such a curse. But if the bargain was entered willingly, I should find it very difficult to break. A willing bargain is, with Fae, just as with devils, is a very powerful thing indeed. You you're beginning to deal with universal law.
What about the death of the deal holder?
I suppose it depends on the nature of the deal.
Thank you.
Certain magic is executed and held by the creature casting it, and some magic is just cast and remains even if they die. If the bargain is dependent on the Fae maintaining some sort of magic, then killing it might end it. But if it is a deed done and then finished, then killing it would probably not affect it.
Which I was reading aloud, Stowe was reading aloud what he was writing and what was being returned until he got to the part where he started asking about breaking the Fae. And I'll just look at you guys and it's not the Fae magic is unbreakable. There's just no real way to do it. Not when the bargain was gone into willingly. So, like I said, there's a chance. I think there's a chance we can break it with enough spiritual power, but I think it's going to come at the cost of pissing off a lot of hags. And we can cross that road when we get there, but there's no ticket, there's no one spell, there's no magic key. So
Very much like to not piss off a bunch of Fey magic hags because I like my shadow.
I agree. Gives you away. But doesn't mean we're giving up. We just may have to table that for a bit.
Well, it's okay. We've got a few things in front of us, so yeah. First, we got to figure out how to get these weapons into Lyrandil.
I'm reeling internally. Sarek told me last night that he's an ASMR, and I was like, oh yeah, they're banned in Mandor. Do I recall, do I know, all you said that I would know, I guess, is that their existence is heretical, but do I know what separates me from them? If they have special abilities or...
I mean, they're like elves, they're a different
Okay.
race.
Yeah, no, I know.
Entirely.
I guess maybe I'm trying to connect his race with the portal, jumping or portal finding or anything that the Astral Raven may have picked him for if it was associated with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, in your case, it would be they had told you it was a lot more vague, as those kinds of things often are, where it's they claimed to be of holy nature, but were demons in disguise kind of thing, very vague. They made claims that were offensive to the to the Church of Our Lady, that sort of vague claim.
Okay. Got it.
I hit you upside the head really hard. I hit Sarek upside the head, the back of the head really hard to see if I can jog his head to do anything.
What was that for?
Can you feel portals now?
No, I just feel a knot on the back of my head.
That could be a sign of a portal. I don't know.
You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Listen, sometimes a good smack on the head sparks my imagination.
I'll keep that in mind for the future.
Don't try that with me.
I would never hit
Plus-
you upside your head.
Okay, great. Good to know.
You have to You don't really use a lot of magic. It's not really how it works.
Sure, but sometimes I flex my muscles and I can do this, and then I make my eyes turn blue.
I think that's more of a...
No, I mean, it's pretty cool.
It is cool, but I think that's more of a feature of like a personal ability rather than magic.
Sure, but I can also make shit go real dark real fast.
Yeah, speaking of personal abilities, look, Sarek, we talked last night about who you are.
Yeah, because you guys weren't in there.
I'm sorry to bring it up, but I'm going to. I don't know.
At this point, I think it's pretty much all cards on the table, so that's fine. She's talking about I'm an ASMR.
Do I know what that is?
Roll a nature check.
Nature my fancy core.
Sure.
You said nature?
Mm-hmm.
16.
11.
Okay. 16, probably not a whole lot. You would know that they're a race supposedly from outside the material plane, but I think that's probably about it for the 16.
So you're not
I
from
think you
around
probably
here?
wouldn't.
Honestly, I didn't even
Like,
know
you know
that.
they exist, but you don't
Sure.
know much about them.
Okay.
So you're not from around here?
You told me you were born in Bloodpool. You said you were.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of my memory that's a little shaky right now. That's just what I think. I would have, I mean, before our conversation a couple of days ago, I would have told you Bloodpool, absolutely. Now, who knows?
Like you were born in Bloodpool or you materialized in Bloodpool?
I mean, I would assume born in Bloodpool.
Material. Like, do you have childhood memories?
Wait, you're asking the guy with memory problems if I have childhood memories.
I'm asking, do you have any right now?
Nothing specific.
So you don't remember what your house looked like, what your bed looked like?
Parents?
Mm-mm. No, I mean, I would think that I had parents. Like, that's how
So I mean that's
stuff
not,
works.
That's not something specific. That's nothing. It sounds like you remember nothing.
Yeah.
Not even feelings or like senses of things?
No. We got nothing. I had thought I had some stuff, but
So what is the earliest memory that you have?
can I like roll a history check or something to see what that would be?
Like how far back?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like you remember things from back in Bloodpool. You remember.
I remember.
Cribmobile.
Yeah. I remember like being at the order, being at the monastery, and learning that stuff. Those are pretty like specific memories, but I think what it is before that, it's all kind of, it feels. I mean, I had parents, right? Like you have to have parents. Like, well, yeah, I had a childhood because you have to have a childhood, but nothing. There's no like, oh yeah, I had a best friend and his name was Steve. No, nothing like that.
We had a terrible best friend named Steve.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. How far back can you remember?
I guess
Clearly.
the first real detailed memory I have is showing up at the gates of the monastery where I learned.
How long ago was that?
I think it was like 5 years ago. So, no, it was long ago than that.
How old were you when you got there?
Just a second.
How
I was
old are
actually
you,
looking at
Sarek?
It's a good question. I actually don't know anymore.
I need you to briefly look up the little note that you keep in your pocket
Right.
that has important information about who you are.
Oh, I worked with a guy that had one of those. Like,
He had short-term memory loss?
he had Alzheimer's, and he'd come to work and had a notebook to remember where he parked.
At least
Don't tell me that's
Yeah,
it.
At least
was
it
like-
wasn't like he had tattooed it on his body so he remembered, but then he tattooed the wrong information. He was stuck in only blurry. Sorry if I spoiled that movie for you.
It's about 7 years ago. Not for who asked that question, but yeah, it's about 7 years ago.
How old are you right now?
A lot older than
Was it
7.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We can't be sure of
think.
anything.
It's true. I really can't.
How old are you again?
I don't know, early 20. I can't. Let me look it up.
Am I
I love how.
am I
How
still-
old am I?
Am I still the youngest one here?
You're definitely the youngest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. The six. About 30.
Yeah.
It's as far as he knows.
You're like
24.
Mid late
Oh, you
20s.
two are like the same,
Yeah.
roughly the same age.
Mid late 20s. So that's
Concerning.
yeah, it's a big chunk of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But
More
more
than
than
half
I thought.
Yeah, that's more than half your life. That's like vague
Oh yeah.
thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Well, I will say from my knowledge of the SMR, where my people are supposedly from devils, your people are supposedly not even from this realm.
Hmm.
You
Oh,
are beyond
goodness.
this plane.
Maybe that's why the Astral Raven thinks I can find these portals. I just always thought I was from here.
I mean, you could be from here. I am
I
from
could be.
here.
Mm-hmm.
I did not walk out to the Nine Hills one day.
And it's just a descendant
Or
of
at least
someone
I don't
who
think
is
I
from
did.
another plane.
The Church of Our Lady said, I don't know. I don't know anymore, honestly. Whenever I was fed there, but ASMR wasn't even permitted to be in my country. They said you claim to be holy or something.
I'm not holy,
We've
But
got
it was-
wings.
I mean,
and you've seen those wings.
They're pretty cool.
I mean, they are really cool.
So he's
You've been
just
knocking on
suddenly
those
envisioning
wings.
little mini Asura and Sarek like on his shoulders.
I'm the
And like he's just like just having a weird moment.
Oh, we are the evil and the devil. I love this.
It's like he doesn't know what they are, and it's just in a moment like envisioning the wings and like
My cute little tail just going.
And the other one's got bone wings that shoot out of them.
Like,
Yeah.
oh.
What? You're the good one?
Yeah, that's how I'm like, I'm very confused right now. So, you don't know much more about your people?
Mm-mm.
Was your monastery mainly?
Oh, this was a bunch of different people. Like there were no like specific just ASMRs. It was different. I mean, I don't know if there were any or not at all.
What else did they tell you? I mean, do they have a country?
not that I know of.
Or
I mean,
Fortress.
I feel like whatever they told me probably isn't right. I mean, you're the first I've met, and all the accusations aren't quite lining up with who I know you to be. So
But
That's
they could have veiled some truth inside the lies. Enough of it so that if you ever came across them, you would at least recognize that there was deception.
it all came back to Our Lady. They said that your very existence was blasphemous
Lovely people.
to the church.
I mean, he didn't create himself. I don't think.
Not that I'm aware of.
I know
Like
he's
I
doing
said,
some blood
is he
magic.
7?
Is he?
Well, what about you in all of this?
What about me?
You also talked to Hidressa.
I got talked at.
What did she say to you?
That's valid, actually. You know, a lot of getting spoken to, and Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
apparently she said some things to you.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a little bit about it, but I was hoping to get a read from you and Stoic about it because initially I thought I was being threatened, which I still kind of do. But she
Not inherently wrong.
She knows everything about me. She knows exactly who I am, who my father is. She has people inside my home country. And it's not just that. I mean, I don't know how much, or I don't know what her dealings are in Mandor. I don't know if it's just to spook me and tell me things that I wish she didn't know. But she was pretty detailed as far as what's going on in my household.
Currently?
Yeah.
Was any of it news to you?
She told me where my brother is.
Where's your brother?
He's in the Helterlands.
Why is he in the Helterlands?
He's looking for me.
Any particular reason why he's looking for you?
Yeah. My father just wants him to bring me back.
Are you somebody of standing in your country?
Well, I did tell you. And you. My father's the high priest in the Church of Our Lady.
I know that, but I don't know where that falls in the hierarchy of Mammon. Not Mammon.
Yeah, different one.
I don't deal with those guys.
Mandor! Sorry. Mandor! Sorry.
I think I'm realizing that a lot of what I was taught is... I don't know if thinly veiled is the right phrasing, but... no one really sees Our Lady. Like, she... like, she came and she was the one who takes away the curse or breaks the curse, whatever. I don't know.
Curse.
Yeah, so Mandor is considered to be a cursed land, and so the people of Mandor inherit the curse.
What exactly is the curse specifically? Just the curse, or is it something like
It's a
everyone
great question.
has boils?
No, nothing like that. When I say that's a good question. It's hard to explain. It's just when you're taught your whole life that your very being is a curse and someone comes along that can fix it, worship ensued, and my father was first in line. So there's a certain faith that comes with it, and when your very being is a curse, is evil, your religion becomes self-denial. And I'll roll my sleeves up I'll hold them out to you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see scars all over her arms, which you've actually seen before.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah.
I've not
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah.
Not either.
Because the only other person that saw
Easy
it was
saw it.
Easy. Easy was the only other one that saw it.
Yeah.
So you do that shit too?
Not exactly.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but the opportunity has not really presented itself.
It was used more ritually. I'll pull out my dagger.
Is that how you
Just
pray in your country?
No. No. Do I think she's like... I've never seen her.
Mhm.
I believe, or at least my father has claimed to say that he's seen her. I've never seen her. Do I believe that she's like a person or ascended?
You're not sure, like if
Okay.
she's a person or a being. Like she's some sort of being. Like they're like on Earth, supposedly. Yeah, he says he's met her and sees her occasionally here and there. You have not, very few have. Yeah, but they also kind of blur the lines a lot as to...
I'm just wondering, because would prayer to her be a part of faith there, or...
Yeah, it's probably not like a heavy thing, but it's not out of like...
I just assumed the religion was more action, like...
Yeah, it's more like
Asceticism.
It's more like a service and allegiance, loyalty kind
Yeah.
of thing, with a lot of ritual and things like that, in a set of beliefs that she is delivering Mandor from its curse, and that people in Mandor are part of that curse and have to be cleansed of that curse individually as well. And that's what also... It is more widely believed than just in the church that Mandor is cursed. Like, that's been a long rumor. Because it's so full of, like, monsters and strange creatures throughout the forest, which is why Mandor is arranged as, like, fortified cities, with roads and in between, but there's not, like, small villages every now and then and stuff like that. It's like... It's a very particular arrangement of life there.
Yeah, I'll share the monster thing with you, but, I mean... That was the claim, right? That we're cursed because of the landscape. But again, it bled into our very being at some point. The curse was... We were told to bleed the curse out of us. And that... It can mean different things. That was our faith. That was our religion. When we first met, I know you guys noticed I didn't really eat much.
Yes.
I think I've gotten a little better about that. I stare at the snack bag.
All the pastries.
So that was a part of self-denial. We ate only what was necessary. And there wasn't really meant to be any enjoyment from, day-to-day activities. And we spent a lot of time in isolation. My brother and I actually I'm not really fond of the dark for that reason. I gets a little overwhelming.
I mean, no offense, but it sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds terrible.
All of it?
All of it.
Yeah, it sounds like torture.
No enjoyment. As much solitude as possible. Don't eat. Don't take joy from eating. Sounds like you guys didn't take joy from much.
Yeah.
I mean, I was raised to think that I was less than, and no, I wouldn't say cursed, but I was worthless and being a half orc and unnatural. But the whole monastery wasn't like that. For me, it was just because I was different. It sounds like your whole people.
Here's the funny thing. I wasn't raised to, like, I didn't believe that I was less than. I was really good at what I did.
What was it that you did?
My father, again, high priest. Some folks need help bleeding the curse.
Help
They think they
or
don't need it.
help? Like, hey, can you help me? Or it looks like you need some help.
What do you think?
It sounds like. Are you praised if you bleed more than you're able for the curse? Like, you can bleed and heal, but if somebody dies while bleeding the curse, is that considered a good thing or a bad thing?
It's different for everyone, I guess. Some are more resistant than others.
So when you helped people bleed the curse, was it at their request or your father's?
At first it was my father's, and then I didn't need his coaxing anymore.
Did you help them bleed a little or a lot?
Have you ever flayed someone?
Not fully. But I've peeled hands off of people before. I've also poked out the eyeballs, taken off noses and fingers and toes. Ball sacks.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, my ability to heal didn't necessarily come from Eldris.
Where did it come from? Wait, did you say kill or heal?
Heal.
Okay. Like, make sure. Where did you get your abilities to heal then?
Not quite. You know, I don't deal with what you dabbled in. I don't have any idea what that's like, but my father did train me up in a sort of blood magic. You've
So
seen
that's-
it.
Yeah, that's the same thing as bleeding the curse. When you do that to yourself, are you bleeding the curse? Or are you using the curse? I'm confused as to
You mean now?
when you use the blood magic.
I mean, I don't use that terminology anymore. I don't believe
Well-
that.
That good, yeah.
But when you did, in the past.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, but I've seen you heal all the time. I've never seen you use anything but your holy symbol to heal. former cleric, I'm very confused. I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
I don't touch my dagger, but I'll just gesture to it. I'm able to heal using blood magic.
When was the last time you did it?
Not that long ago. She helped me out when I was in a bad way.
Why choose the blood over your symbol?
It's strong magic.
So it was an act of desperation.
I guess you could say that.
Or was it an act of knowing that you could control it? A sense of comfort.
I've only done it twice since I've known you. I helped Easy once. I guess he didn't tell you.
Easy didn't tell us many things.
But you used to do it all the time back in Mandor?
Yeah. Our whole family's trained in blood magic to some extent. I've sat under my father's wing pretty much my whole life. Compared to my brother, I was the chosen one, I guess. But Adressa actually told me that now that I'm not under his thumb, my brother is now. I don't really know what that means, but she said whatever way I left him, he's changed now.
I don't want to throw around accusations and stuff, but your father seems kind of abusive. I mean, I'm not familiar with your customs and cultures, but it sounds very oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right.
Is there you have a formal government in Mandor? Or is like... The reason I'm asking is I'm trying...
Church and state?
I'm trying to like, because when I'm like, how high in the hierarchy are you? And you're like, well, he's a high priest. And I'm like, I don't
actually know.
I know a lot of high priests, but if your country is like a religious state,
What is the
high
church?
priest is a very different thing.
Yeah. What is the church state situation?
There is a government.
Okay.
Technically, it's a kingdom, but the king there hasn't been a king in like 4 years.
Okay.
Basically, since Our Lady showed up.
Okay.
Since Drava showed up.
Okay, I thought she showed up longer ago than that.
Yeah, she yeah, it's basically kind of grown up where there is a state, but the church very much runs the show.
Okay, that's kind of the feeling I was
I'll relay
getting.
that.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I was getting. I was just trying to make sure because I'm like, I know lots of high priests. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the state does report to
Okay.
Our Lady Drava.
okay.
Yeah.
So now I get
Really high up
So
there.
Dad's the top dog.
Yeah. Okay, now it makes more sense. Become a princess. Okay.
Of evil.
I
I
instantly
just want to be
got.
princess of something.
I instantly got. With your hair, I instantly got Cruella. I was like, that was well done. Sorry. Anyway,
Winter princess, murder princess.
okay.
The dichotomy is there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that could be a double princess for all I know.
Yay.
Princess Pals.
We're changing our name to the Princess Pals, you guys. We're all princesses in our own.
You guys have wings. We're in.
Yeah.
You're our, you're our Pegasi.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know much about my orc mother, but she could have been high up in the orc society. I'm just saying.
Sure, yeah.
I could be Prince Orkling. It's fine.
Prince Orkling. Oy, oy, oy.
Wow.
What was your official title when you were under your father?
I don't think. What was my title?
Just a priestess. I don't know. I guess you would be
was an
assistant to the
intern.
regional manager.
Yeah. I was an intern.
But a really high intern, like
I
you
mean,
were
if
actually
your
a
father
paid
was a high
intern.
Just kidding.
So you
No,
were
she would not
under-
have been an intern.
If your father was
She's
a high
passed out.
priest and you were like underneath his wing, as you say, that would put you in a position of power.
Yeah, it sounds like her father was the high priest, not a high priest.
I think you would have been priestess inquisitor.
Oh,
So
that's a
So you
title.
were the red. So you were the red lady of.
That's a title. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm who?
What did you
The
say? The
the
priest.
re-judge.
The
Priestess inquisitor. There are more than one, but it's a pretty higher rank.
yeah, you would have been like the ruby judge of your wing.
I mean, she looks amazing, so I'm not mad.
I understand a little more why your father wants you back so much. At first, I thought it was just
Daddy wants his daughter home.
impress a father, but it sounds a little more than that.
I mean, but you're no longer the chosen one. At least that's what Hadressa said, right? So is it? Did she say more like why he wants you back? Because it doesn't sound like you're going to have the same role as you did.
I think my brother's just being used.
And it feels good when you go from not being the chosen to being the chosen.
Yeah, you feel bad for me.
So do you?
My brother had it worse than I did.
So do you think he's trying to bring you back so he no longer has to be the chosen, or is he trying to find you to make sure you'll never be the chosen?
I think Daddy wants her back, and Brother is now the chosen one, and is going to make sure that Daddy keeps him as the chosen one.
That's exactly what I'm asking. Is he going to? Do you think he's going to take her back or kill her?
If Daddy wants her back, she's going back.
Unless he really wants to be the chosen.
Either way,
Yeah.
your brother is going to be singly focused on his duty.
Yeah, I don't know if he were to ever find me, which I feel so far. I did. I used to feel so far removed from it. At least for a moment, it seemed when we were at sea, when we were at the pedals. But I think
This world isn't as big as it used to be.
so I got scared when Adressa was talking to me. I feel like it's all catching back up with me, maybe. And the way she talked about my brother, I don't know what's coming for me. And I told her, told you, that I would split if it got too hairy, and I just don't want you guys in the mix.
I mean, I'm being hunted.
I'm like pointing at the Hydra. Like,
Did we leave the spot yet, or are we still in? Okay, cool.
no, that's fine. No, keep going. I'm not interrupting you. I'm just like,
I don't want to be the cause of one more dangerous encounter for you guys. I don't care about.
I'm literally
Hydra.
being hunted because I exist.
by devils, and I mean, I'm sure your brother's, you know,
An asshole, but
In
he's
his own
not
right,
like the
yeah.
devils. The king of the devils. I've now got apparently multiple devils after me.
are you gonna leave her because devils are hunting her?
No, it's not a comparison game. I'm just.
No, it's not a comparison game. What I'm saying is, I'm here together with all of us, knowing full well that I'm being chased by creatures beyond our ken, but what I am saying is you have us.
Yep.
If we need to beat the shit out of your brother, we will.
That's the thing, though. I don't want that.
But if it comes to it, what are you choosing? Because I think that's more important that we know what your choice is.
You don't have to answer now, though. That's
No.
kind of a hard question to.
But that is an answer. It is an answer we will need to know. is, are we fighting alongside you against your brother, or are we letting your brother take you? Or are we letting your brother kill you?
That's not an option.
No, but it is something that she needs to voice.
I think the real takeaway from this conversation is that I deserve more pastries.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you get taken away, where are you going to get pastries like this?
That's manipulative, sir.
And I'm sad I didn't think of it first.
Food is delicious, okay?
Tea is
Partake.
also delicious.
Yeah. Enjoy the finer things in life. Tea and cake.
Truly. Silk sheets.
You know, I tried alcohol for the first time outside of Mandor, and I can say your tea really is, it's the best.
Thank you. Some of it came from Valen. He picked some very good tea. I got to visit. Trill came by to say hello.
Trill.
Is that
Our best friend forever. He was the one who was with.
the guy at the bar?
Yes.
Okay. Huh.
Selena. He took care of her for a while.
Yeah, I remember. But where was I? Like, when did this happen?
You weren't around. You were out shopping. He came to the bar when we were waiting for what's
Wait,
his face?
so then another Fae.
No, Trill is not Fae.
No.
Oh.
He's a scoundrel.
He's sellsword mercenary group, kind of, right?
Sure.
Am I right? Guardsman.
He's fantastic.
He's from...
You don't know what he is. You know he's known Hadressa for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I know that he has really pretty weaponry and he's very good at using it.
He's from El Rakka?
No. He's part of Hadressa's entourage.
In fact, the two of you roll a history check real quick for me. I'm curious.
Oh no.
High enough.
14?
Those things are gorgeous when they...
Less than 10. I gotta look up.
Never mind.
I remember some things, but I'm also not saying a lot of things.
No, it was a comment he made
Oh.
that you haven't really picked up on yet. So
God damn it!
long time ago. So
God damn it! This campaign has gone for so long, I don't remember half of what I was told.
that's why I gave you a chance.
Ah.
Alright. Well,
He's part of her entourage.
Yeah.
Been that way for a long time.
that's interesting.
Wait,
Was this
did I meet this person? Okay.
Oh.
during
Okay, I just connected the
Andressa's
dots.
visit? Or was this...
You just stopped by to say hello.
It was around the same time?
You just wanted to catch up.
Did he look
Afterwards.
cool like she's describing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's really cool.
We need an AI.
Very,
art.
very
What?
skillful.
We need AI art.
Glad to see he's still around.
Seems to be doing well. I mean, he's still being hunted for all the things that he's being hunted for.
Sure.
He's being hunted as well?
When is he not?
Aren't we all? That's in some form
Yeah.
or fashion. It seems.
I don't know, are you?
I mean, us
No,
three
that's
are.
true. I don't actually know.
Us three are. So technically, I'm being hunted by Faye. So, like, I mean,
You're being hated by Faye.
well, I mean, I don't know how
Feels like a death
active.
wish.
I don't know how active he is in the search, but it's still there. I'm not like.
Well, why does he have to hunt you when he can just lure your shadow to him?
I mean, that's all I wanted. But
It can't be good. Cannot be good.
no. But I do think that we need to go before this heat comes for the day. Well, it's still early.
Yeah. Get away from the smell that's going
Yeah.
to only get worse. So we stay here.
Honestly, this is not even the worst the smells can get out here.
That's good to know. All right.
Packing up the tent.
Yep.
Packing up and rounding up. Are we the caravan leaders, or do we have a caravan leader? Do we
We're
hire
rotating.
one?
We're just staying on the road.
Okay.
There are 4 wagons, like, now outside of you. You've been kind of rotating drivers and that sort of
Okay.
thing.
And it's always two of us and like two of them, and we're always kind of rotating in and out. So that way, there's always one of us who has a bit more of like a.
Yeah, I missed that part, so I wasn't sure if we had hired a caravan lead.
No, we are just
are.
following the road,
Yeah.
Okay.
and these roads are generally as well marked as one can be in the desert.
And this is day 2. So we should probably keep moving if we want to hit that town.
We can make up a little bit of ground because we've got the wagons on our side. We can get further into the day a little bit.
We still got a long way, 2 weeks before the port city, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Week and a half.
Well, it's yeah, it depends on weather.
Yeah.
You know, but
Maybe once we get on the water, we can go to the pedals just for a day or two, just to unwind after everything
The
here.
only one who didn't like the petals.
Yes.
I guess so.
It's just so creepy. A little island on the water. Why would anyone want to live on a tiny little piece of land in the middle of the ocean?
I mean, I know it's a strange place when you go somewhere and everyone seems genuinely happy and in good spirits. But
Good spirits, yes,
kinda
because they
nice.
were all drunk and either rich with cash or
Yeah.
broke as
we
fuck.
were in different parts of that town.
I mean, we're around a few drunk people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But we were going.
You were a few drunk people.
We were going like,
absolutely.
man, I had my little gnome buddy pulling our cart. It was on call. Like that was excellent. Like I had a blast.
you're definitely living bougie.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Listen, I don't mind living bougie, but a little piece of land in the middle of the ocean is very scary. You can't walk away from anything.
no, that's true.
It's an interesting take, considering that you really are into Hadressa and that whole creepy thing.
But Teresa's not creepy.
Intimidating.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is not my fault that she intimidates you.
Yeah, but the pedals aren't intimidating. They're relaxing.
To you. They are oppressive and creepy to me. It's also too bright. Far
I
too
don't
bright.
remember much of the pedals, to be honest.
Yeah. I could smell it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were doing pretty good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I did the pedals right.
You did
Okay.
very much.
Yeah. You don't remember anything. That's fine. You had a good time.
I'm too wound up to relax.
Maybe we definitely need to stop on the pedals.
Also, not with this cargo.
Nah, that's true. Onwards.
Okay. So you guys finish packing up camp and set back out into the desert, back into the heat of the day and the long, dry, unpleasantness of traveling in the middle of the desert. You know, once again, just kind of dealing with the wind and just the sort of wind burn, the brightness of the sun, the sand kind of blowing, there's just ever-present sand everywhere, the chapped lips and dry eyes and everything of just such a dry environment, just all the more pronounced now that you're out of the city, where there was a little bit of alleviation just because of the massive people there, but and shelter from wind and different things like that, but now back out into the barren desert, you are reintroduced into what desert travel was like, reminding you before you found the prince and his scorpion. And you don't think there's going to be any luxurious travel coming out of nowhere for this this leg of the journey here. But eventually,
Reminds me of my childhood.
Ugh.
Eventually you do reach a point where it's like you start crossing into a little bit rockier terrain. There's still plenty of sand, and everything I said is still true, but you're starting to see more stones and more occasional rises of rock in the sand and that sort of thing as you start to cross into it. And you start to get very hazily off in the very far distance. You can see what looks like the very subtle shades of mountains very, very far in the distance, kind of to your left as you travel along this road, occasionally passing other caravans and groups of travelers and that sort of thing. Occasionally doesn't seem abnormal. So, as evening starts to approach, as the sun starts to set or get closer to setting, you probably start thinking about, well, it's probably a good time to start looking over the next hour or so for a spot, kind of looking through the different, kind of increasingly rocky area here for a spot. Asura, as you kind of kind of start looking around a little more intently from, the travel reverie that can happen sometimes, as you look around, you see off in the distance, sort of behind you, kind of northeast-ish, a very large shadow in the sky. It seems to be moving your direction.
Is this a shadow I recognize?
Yes. It looks like a very sizable sandstorm.
Fuck. Is there any sort of cover within, immediate...
Make a survival check.
Can I use somebody else that also has been out in this desert before as, assistance? Do any of the other guys in our group?
Factoring could probably help you, yeah.
Good rolls.
What am I doing again?
Survival.
That is going to be 19, 20, 23. That is going to be a 23.
Okay. So a couple things. One, as you sit and watch it for a second, you can see it seems to be traveling pretty fast. And these things do travel fast, so you only have a limited amount of time to find it, to find shelter. Because you also know what the rest of the group isn't really aware of is how much a sandstorm doesn't sound too bad unless you've been in one. And it can cause, blindness. It can cause, sand actually blinding you, potentially permanently. It can be damaging to you. It can, or to creatures, get in your lungs and cause real severe problems. You can't see. Movement is a challenge. Staying on your feet is a challenge. It could be destructive to the wagons. There's all sorts of bad things that can happen. And so you guys start seeing a real urgency as she's conveying this news here. And you also see it among the circle breakers too, of how serious of an issue this is. So with a 23, you are able to start searching pretty quickly, scouting out, and Fekrin takes flight to get a bird's eye view with you. And together you're able to pinpoint, it looks like some ruins of some sort, open, not closed buildings, but open ruins, which are pretty common throughout.
But at least enough to kind of create some barriers and places where we
it looks like
at least
that seems to be the best you can find in the time you have.
I immediately start calling out, especially for everyone to start pulling up all the fabric on their faces. And when we lock down, everyone pulls that fabric over every orifice that is open and locks in. You don't let anything inside the fabric. And then I make sure that the horses are covered as well. And then the wagons, I just try to put them in like enough of a barrier spot, but like I might lose a wagon. But I'm more concerned to make sure that the animals don't get hurt and the people don't get hurt because we need them to pull.
Yeah. You see all of the circle breakers take out strips of cloth and tie it around their eyes. That seems like they're blindfolding, but they seem to still be able to see, which you know to just be kind of thinner cloth used to protect the eyes, but still allow a little bit of vision, at least enough to be able to get around, hopefully. And pull, basically bandanas up and everything like that, kind of covering themselves up.
In Infernal, I tell the tieflings to lock up, which is you buddy system. You pick somebody and becomes your buddy. And since we have an odd number, somebody has to be a buddy of 3, but everyone needs a pair.
Yeah. So you reach the ruins and start kind of managing your wagons into place, trying to pack them into these ruins, which are not very big. It's going to be a very tight fit to get the wagons inside a sheltered area, there's no roof, and so it's going to be not pretty, but it might shelter you from the brunt of the wind enough that, you might be okay, or at least avoid the massive damage. And so you're probably about halfway through kind of getting it in place when it hits. And you just see, and you guys, this is quite a sight as you look up, from this like kind of canyony place that you're in, like kind of shallower canyon place, this just wall of sand, this dark brown cloud just rushes up, and suddenly everything goes dark, and you guys almost fall over as you are hit by this unrelenting wind of sand. I would like somebody, whoever would like to, I would like you to do 2 rolls. Roll a 1d6.
Go for it.
3.
A 3? Okay. You see your visibility is highly reduced, and you basically have a 30-foot, like, absolute cutoff of visibility. And for the second roll, where did it go? You don't really have. All right. Well, roll another d6, but re-roll a 1.
6.
6. Okay. So that's about 60 miles an hour wind.
Jesus! Oh no! Well, I was like 6. That has to be good, right? It's a high number.
You never know when you go,
And so, as you guys are trying, only halfway, you've got 2 of them into the kind of safety of the behind the walls of the ruins, and you're now trying in blindness and like desperately trying to stay, like serious trouble staying on your feet. I'd like 2 of you to make an animal handling check for me.
I have a +5.
Go
I have
for
a
it.
Thank you.
+1.
Plus
Is anybody
3.
better?
I've got plus 3.
Wait, don't you have talked animals?
Yeah, but I don't have good animal handling. I used to.
So I guess we're doing the animal handling checks.
You guys handle.
No.
Okay, 18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 1.
Oh no!
All right. Give me a second to. All right.
She just blows away.
Yours, unfortunately, too, is in front of his, so your animal just your starts freaking out, and you just cannot get this under control. It's just bad enough that it is basically stopping both of your wagons from getting inside. While they are trying to wrangle their creatures, and you're able to kind of keep yours under control. it's also getting a little bit spooked by the other wagon lurching backwards suddenly from yours. Meanwhile, Asura, as you're like trying to get people in and desperately trying to see through the sand, you're seeing the kind of form, like kind of shadowy forms of your people and things like that. And after a moment, you think you see a bigger form. And then another one from a different direction. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh my.
Why?
I hate this country. I hate this country. This country sucks. Has there been anything good to happen?
It's like, do you want to stay here? Do you want to go
I
to
found out that-
Clarendale? Do you
I
want to
found
go to Mandor?
Yeah.
Like, take your pick.
I found out that I did some good for my countrymen.
That's true.
And it caused irrevocable
great
harm to
out
my
there.
countrymen.
Splitting hairs,
What the fuck, dude?
You
What the-
rolled
These
the
are the-
dice.
Here's all the dice rolls.
What the
I mean,
fuck,
except for the
Kyle?
one that determined
up,
this was
Kyle?
happening.
Oh my god. Go away.
So we will come back in about 10 minutes or so and continue on with this sandstorm.
Where you watch
issue.
the whole party go.
Right. So Darude.
Shut up, I hate that.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So,
Warm 'em up, boys.
so as the team,
Too warm.
cool it off, blow on it. So the party has found themselves in the midst of a sandstorm, trying to take shelter in the ruins, but only halfway succeeding as far as the wagons go. And Asura has started seeing some larger shapes in the sand, the blowing sand, around you guys.
I grab my tattoo, and for those who can hear me, I just go, I say giant figures at this point and this point, and I just like tell them like where I'm seeing things.
I'll relay that to Sarek.
Yeah.
Great! Fantastic! Yelling through the sand.
I mean, you're gonna be like right up
Yeah.
to each other's faces and never be able to talk to each other. Do I see any of the other guys that don't have tattoos? Like the other parts of our party nearby?
You've been seeing silhouettes here and there.
Okay,
yeah.
so then I'm gonna grab the closest one of our party that is not tattooed, like of our circle breakers, and I'll tell him the same thing,
Okay.
so that he can start relaying information.
You're
I'm grabbing one of whoever's the closest circle breaker. I'm grabbing him so that I can also tell him what I'm seeing,
okay.
if he hasn't caught glimpses of it yet.
Okay.
I imagine at least one other one has seen something.
Thekrian.
Cool. I tell Thekrian.
Okay.
Just to start the info train.
So as you are yelling basically at Thekrian and trying to relay this over the loud wind, he's able to lean close, and you also figure out this is going to be hard to communicate with people today, so because it is just a roar.
Yeah.
and
I
growing.
I tell him to pull lock tactics, which is you and your partner are each other's like back to back. Like if you can't protect anybody else, you protect your partner, because it's going to be chaos in this wind.
Okay. And you also, with that, roll a perception check for me.
Is there anyone beside with
Nat 20.
Nice.
Okay.
Go ahead and take care of everything.
So, you also, somewhere in the midst of the roar, are also hearing what sounds like. Whisper is the wrong word. It's like a raspy, or almost like there are words, of the wind itself. Like, kind of around you.
Do I understand the words?
No.
Do I recognize the language? If it's not the word specifically?
You can do an intelligence check.
Nat 20.
Let's go.
Okay. Okay, with a nat 20, you stop for a moment and you tell Fekrian to listen, and Fekrian goes, "It's Oren," which you might have heard, I guess, with a nat 20 is like that. It's like what Ignan is for fire, Oren is for air.
So it's the air it's the language of the air.
Basically.
Is there anyone beside me with this horse that I'm trying to deal with? The wagon I'm dealing with?
Yeah, there's another circle breaker there.
Alright. I'm gonna leave that horse with him, and I'm gonna go up to the horse she was dealing with and see if I can pull that one up, because it's the one freaking out right now.
Okay. Since it's already freaking out, do an animal handling with disadvantage. To try again.
Can I bless him with guidance?
Sure.
Okay, great.
It's a D6?
D4.
D4, okay. Yeah, we'll definitely need that D4. So that's 11. 14.
14. You are able to kind of get it under control, but you are still fighting against the wind. So it's like you think you're able to get it under control.
Okay. We'll just get it calm.
What are you guys doing?
Do I know that if the air is good or bad? I don't know, like if there's like a moral code to creatures that speak Orin? Like an
No,
inherent goodness?
You would assume, there's an airplane, just a plane of air.
Airplane.
I'm speaking to the horses, trying to calm them down and help where I can.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Fekrian, do you know anybody who speaks Orin?
I do.
Well, what are they saying?
And he's kind of yelling, actually. He's like,
Yeah.
It's hard to tell for sure. Something. They're trying to talk to each other about us.
To eat us? To save us? To be friends with us? To fuck us over?
They seem to be calling out what they see.
So they're just observing us?
I don't know.
Well, do we fight them or do we let them just talk about us?
The plane of air is very large, just like this one. There's good and bad. There's no way to know.
Well, we can't fight what we can barely see. And most of my shit requires a little bit of movement of air. My shit's never going to touch those motherfuckers. They're massive.
What do you want to do?
Is there a way that we can say, hey, we're not here to fuck with you, but can you please move along?
I can translate for you.
Can you just say, hey, we're just passing by. Have a great day.
Yes.
So he conveys, you see him start conveying this in this raspy, like this just loud, whispery language out into the wind. And then he pauses, and you hear a pause in the whispers for a moment. And then you actually see them kind of exchange some language back and forth a bit. And he says, I'm explaining I'm not one of them. But they want to know why we're here.
Like in general or specifically here?
What?
Like, why does one even exist.
Metaphysically?
Yeah, like metaphysically, spiritually, literally, why are we standing right here? Oh, because we might be in their grounds.
I love this is the conversation during a sandstorm screaming.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Tell them we were just trying to find safety from the sandstorm. We were looking for safe harbor.
So he turns and translates again, and you hear them say, or he kind of frowns or kind of tilts his head for a second, and kind of that bird-like motion, and now they ask why they are here.
I don't know.
Do I hear any of this conversation?
Probably not. You'd have to go over, basically be right next to them.
No, it's fine.
But you said you were talking in the
Yeah,
air.
doing it with the horses.
I was over by him because
Tell them we are so sorry, but we don't know why they are here.
Okay, he turns and starts talking again. And you guys are starting to try to make the horses, but it's just very difficult. Even at one point, a couple of the circle breakers are having to get on the other side of the wagon to hold it, to keep it from tilting over from the wind. As you're trying to hold it and move, it's very difficult going. I guess you would see you haven't seen Asura back around where the three of you are. So he exchanges a few more back and forths with the wind, and he says, they seem to believe that we have something to do with them being here, and if they kill us, they'll get sent back.
Oh no.
Could we not just leave here and then they will also be able to get sent back if we're just not here?
I think they think we're the ones who brought them here. So they need to kill us to go back to their plane.
Tell them we are not the reason that they showed up. But to give us a second to see if we can figure out how to get them back safely, as we have many people with a lot of great knowledge.
I'll try to stall.
Please. And then I immediately turn around and I grab my tattoo and I just go, all right, so we have two giant air creature things that want to kill us all because they think we just summoned them. I'm not sure why they think that. We could have. I don't fucking know. But currently, our dear friend Fekrin is trying to stall for time by talking to them.
They're not from here.
They are not from here. They are from the airplane.
Don't call me Shirley.
Thank you.
I mean, I
I
could try
speak
to help.
jive.
I mean, I could try to help.
If you know anything about how to unsummon these motherfuckers, that would be great.
I know how to banish them.
Banishing is not really what I was hoping for. I was
I mean, it
wondering
sends them
when
back to their plane.
Is that the permanent thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not from here.
If we can send them back, that would be great.
I'll talk.
You come here to me and Fekrian.
Okay.
After hearing that, I punch him in the arm.
Okay.
Your fault.
getting hit today? Your fault.
Every time you punch him,
Another
something
point of
else
damage.
It's burnt through your 10 hit points right now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Fekrian, we might have a solution. We think we can banish them back to their plane. Can you let them know, or ask them, would it be okay if we use magic to return them back to their plane?
Okay. He he turns again, and you actually see he's got one of his wings up, like trying to protect him from this as he's like leaning against the wind.
I'm literally like shouldered up to him to like help support him to keep him in a steady position.
Well, interestingly, he doesn't seem like as put off with it. Like he just seems like he's not.
Well, then I'm also using him as a little bit of my own personal buffer.
Oh, I'm helping you.
Listen, Asura's going to help, but also like if it benefits her, she's going to definitely help.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with the two, roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion, that is going to be a 26.
Okay. He, after a moment, you hear more of this back and forth, and Vakarian says, "Are you there too now?"
Yeah, I'm with her now.
Okay. And he says, "All three of them?"
There's 3 of them.
I've only seen 2 of them. Can you do all 3?
Yeah.
We can try. Where's the 3rd one?
You haven't seen it. Like, you've only seen a couple of forms, like, not consistently,
Yeah.
just, here and there. Like,
Can you ask them to give us a break within this sandstorm? Do they have the ability to circumvent the sandstorm to give us a quiet, safe place to be so that we can cast this?
good question.
They're from the airplane.
Yeah. I don't know. I dig it. Like I didn't think about that.
See, I was thinking they are the storm. They're the ones that brought it.
I thought they were just riding it, but
Vibing on it.
yeah.
The EAC, dude.
He's trying to speak to me. I know it.
Did we just get a little Nemo?
Yeah.
Or Finding Nemo?
Listen,
Yeah.
I have a 3-year-old.
I know. I've watched all the movies too.
The Aladdin reference, let's go.
I mean, when Thackeray said that, he was explaining that he's not with him, like, I got the Ray stance, like, Ray, when someone asks if you're a god, you say yes!
Ray. Love that line.
Stay puffed marshmallow man.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Dum. Dum.
You couldn't help it.
They say they could, but only for a matter of seconds.
Would seconds be enough time to cast this?
We're gonna need 3 minutes.
Trying to ritually cast it?
No, but if I break concentration before a minute, like, if I cast it again
You gotta
before
let
the
the
minute, then it'll come back.
Got you. Okay. Understood.
The spell has to last 1 minute for them to stay.
For them to stay. No.
I mean, I guess we could. Is
I
there
need-
like a multiple targets?
No, it's a
thing?
single target.
Yes, it's I can just do 2 at a time. I'm not that strong.
Can you cast it in this way?
Base is 4.
If we needed a second of time of clear skies for anything, could that give you a time to do something? Not casting the spell. Can you cast the spell in this wind?
Do you need to see them?
And what's the range?
Let's see. It's 60 feet. You can see. Yeah. I'll
Okay.
need to see him.
That might present another problem.
Can they just walk up to me? I mean, I'll follow it.
That's what I would think.
I guess
Is
I'll
it
do
is it only
fifth
for a
level
second
and
for
fourth
each
level.
of you, or is it a second for you total?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. 2 at a time. And then 1.
You can do it then?
I can do 2 at a time.
Okay, nice.
So
That level ring that like stores stuff, and I keep.
they don't. I don't know that they fully understand
Yeah.
that this is powerful wind and they can only hold it back for a few seconds, maybe.
I need longer. It's okay.
But they seem to be getting impatient.
Let's just
Tell
tell
them-
them to come to me.
Tell them we need to have them within 60 feet of us.
Well,
Invisible.
we can only see 30
need them
feet.
within 30 feet of us, that we can see all 3 of them. It is important that we are able to see them all.
Alright, so he conveys it. And you see the two shapes you think you've been seeing kind of sort of shifting and and twirling, almost like a cyclone with arms, in a sense, like just with these, and you can kind of see vagaries of what looks like a mouth and eyes as they sort of float in, as the rest of everybody is desperately trying to get the horses and everything like that into the ruins. Where are you going to try to do this? What are you? I should clarify before we do this. What are you?
Away from the
So,
horses.
a couple things to keep in mind. The wind is extremely high, so that could affect your ability to concentrate. It could even damage you. It could, being out in the wind is going to be a problem.
Well, I don't
in
want to be
numerous
near.
ways.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so my question is, how are you going to deal with the sandstorm as you try to cast this 3 times?
I am going to ask Fekrian if he can also expand his wings to help protect Zenoa. I'm going to stay to help protect Zenoa, to give her, I literally, hold her, so she has someone to, ground her to the ground. And then I'm going to touch my tattoo, and I'm going to say, anybody who can be spared away from the horses, we need literal people to hold Zenoa.
Could be the one that
I got no horse handling anyway. I'll let the circle breakers, and I'll come over there and I'll bust my shield out and try to stand in a wall position with, just to block the wind and the sand.
Yeah, and I'm literally going to be at her legs, and I'm going to wrap my body around, and I'm holding her legs so she can stay standing.
Okay.
And I'm going to literally be a physical anchor for her.
Yeah.
Great. I don't have much magic that would help fortify me, so. Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm just
great.
gonna try and block wind and sand from it.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you if you can grab one more guy who has a shield, if anybody else has a shield.
Does anybody else have a shield?
Yeah, that hates you probably.
I'm thinking it's that guy too.
No, Kazir does.
Can get Kazir.
Okay.
No, Tazik does.
Get
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Kazir.
grab Taziki.
And I'm going to have basically the 3 of them become human shields for as much of the wind as possible, so that she's not getting completely blinded, and she has enough, just soft air, and then I'm literally going to physically anchor her so that she is not having to also be
I've got all my
mindful of
stuff
the
up.
ground.
Covered in my rock and silk,
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So that she can do the wavy handy bits or whatever she needs to do.
Okay. So, as you see Fekrian begin to convey this, as those 2 shapes kind of come out of this storm and gather close to you, in this very odd, ethereal, wind-formed creature, that's a little bit taller and definitely wider than all of you, and kind of glaring down at you, as they move in, and then you see an even bigger shadow, about 15 feet, tall, with the, kind of hulking in this, also seemingly made out of wind, with these 2 massive arms just sort of materialize out of the storm near you guys, just sort of hulking as a shadow above you and looking down.
I'll buff my chest a little bit.
You see Fekrian trying to convey, and you see him gesturing at
I
Zenoa. And
Squeeze your thigh, and I say, send the big one first.
I can send all 3 at once, but it's my 6th level. Should I do
Yes.
that? Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
because this could easily turn into a fight. You'll only have to hold concentration for 1 minute.
Just maybe one last thing. Tell them, try not to resist. Just let it happen. So maybe they don't have to make a save.
Fekrian, please ask them not to
I don't want to blow my
resist.
6th level to nowhere.
Please ask them not to resist the magic that is about to come for them. We are trying to send them back home.
Okay. Roll another persuasion check. Because this is sort of a trust issue here.
It's alright. I can't roll less than a 10. It's gonna be a 22.
Okay.
Out of control.
So broken.
I can't do it for everything. I'm not reliably talented in everything. Just the few things that I'm talented in.
Telling people what to do is one.
Yep.
Hey,
It's not telling them, it's just persuading them.
No, at this point it's
Nudging
telling them.
Suggestion, a strong suggestion.
A strong suggestion.
I strongly suggest you do this, or I will gouge your eyeballs out.
Yeah.
with my
Did you learn
daggers.
how to
I mean,
read thoughts? I mean, we've been together for a while.
I can't read thoughts. I am not intuitive. I am not good at figuring out, like, I am not I'm not, I don't have good intuition.
Okay. I'm just making sure there is no size problem with
Okay.
this.
Yeah, is there a size problem with
It
this?
just says target.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Wow, I actually packed a spell that's perfect for this exact
Yes,
scenario.
it is.
Let's go.
It's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 of you trying to shield or anchor her. So what we'll do is we're going to be... You'll cast the spell and there will be some concentration checks.
Sure.
And there will also be some checks on you guys to be successful in your efforts.
But it'll only be 1 minute this time, since I'm going to do all
Yes.
3.
Sure. Which is good, because this is going to be several checks for a storm of this intensity here. So as you gather around and he says, Fekrin says, they seem to understand, but I don't think it will go well if you don't succeed.
Will everybody take a deep breath and pray to Ildris and everyone else, I guess.
In my head, don't let me screw this up.
All right. So, as you do the gestures and gather them, the materials and whisper your prayer and everything to convey this banishment. As you guys are gathered around trying to brace yourself against this, highway truck, speed storm blowing into you, like desperately trying to find grip in the sand, that's trying to threaten to push you even as you get a foothold. So you complete the spell, and you see all 3 of these creatures just, and you see them disappear. And I need all of you guys, and I'll roll for the circle breakers, the 2 circle breakers for
I wasn't told to go over
strength
there.
saving throws.
He's helping with horses.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
helping with
that's
the
right.
horses.
So
I was not told to go over there.
4 of you then, actually,
Uh-huh.
not 5. So what'll happen is, well, here, let's see. Yes, strength saving throw.
Who? Everybody?
Oh, really?
Yep, and this is not an ability check, so I don't think your reliable talent will.
No, I got it. I did roll terrible.
Man, I thought it was just a concentration check. Strength saving.
Great.
Blast. Oh.
But it's sparkly.
Okay. What'd you get?
12.
15.
Oh no, that's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Wait, am I doing it as well?
I don't know. I just know that we have 2 other guys we have Zeke and Vecrian with
Yeah,
us.
so they succeeded, you two failed.
Fuck.
You need a 17 or higher.
Damn it.
This is intense.
I didn't know if I was also getting a little bit
16.
of buffer because I was inside the middle of this. Because I'm down at the ground level below all the other guys.
Yeah. So this is, so essentially you'll have 2 successes, so you'll be able to add +2 for each success to your concentration check.
Okay.
So +4 in this case.
Okay.
So go ahead and make your first concentration check.
+4 for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On top of whatever your normal concentration check is.
What is that? 23.
Okay. You see, there's like a downward gust at one point, sending Asura like trying to grasp at your legs, almost distracting you for a second as she kind of gets, blown away a little bit. And you see Stoic also sort of like lose his balance a little bit and kind of almost tumble over as they both fight to get in position again to try to.
I've roofed in a windstorm. I know what holding shields like, man.
Yeah, you're blunting it.
Let's go fly, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it again. Another.
You got this. Well,
Fail.
17. I just hit 17. I hope it's still good.
No, you remember I said it was an 18. I corrected myself.
Oh,
An 18.
then I hit a 17. I failed again.
So that's 4 failures.
Oh no!
So no adder for you.
So you see basically everyone trying to shield you, just like. In fact, Fekrin, who's kind of in the middle, like actually does this little leap over you to try to like avoid running into you as everybody is just a massive gust sort of blows everyone around you. Again, almost trying, almost
getting bumped around.
yeah, just blasted in the back
Yeah.
with wind suddenly. Make another concentration check.
Nat 20.
Oh.
8.
With the new dice?
Yeah?
Yeah!
Yep. As you
So not okay right now.
are just intensely trying to, despite everything that's happening, trying to maintain this concentration on connecting with your goddess, and it's for a moment it's strange. You could swear that this hot sandstorm feels cold for a moment. As you guys struggle to get back into position as quickly as you can, make one more check.
You're so strong.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Nat 20?
Not in that, but it's a dirty 20. My numbers were rolled up like one at a time.
That's an 8, right?
I think so.
Dirty 20.
Nordic.
Nice. Nice. What'd you get?
9.
Buddy.
Just missed it, man.
3 successes.
Hey.
So,
You said, so times 2? So 6?
Plus
yeah,
6.
plus 6 to your.
I thought it was gonna be a con thing. Like strength is not my.
No, this is strength.
Yeah.
I have none of that.
66.
26.
Okay. Heck
The
yeah.
right person's doing this.
You are very concentrated.
So
Thank
as
you.
you are feeling, despite their efforts, it's as Stoic once again just goes tumbling over, getting knocked prone, and kind of you see him kind of sliding, and you feel like a blast of sand kind of hitting your face, and you realize it's like this. Just in the back of your mind, it's like, yeah, being out here could be dangerous. Like, this is a problem. But
No thanks.
you feel that cold seem to grow intense for just a moment and then go away, and you're just suddenly blasted with the heat of this environment again as you release the magic and they're gone.
I immediately grab you And I just
Get me
say,
out of here.
move! And I just like start pulling, like hauling ass as best as we can back into any relative
My stomach,
sense
are you okay?
any relative safety we can get.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on. Like trying to turn it into the wind so I can like pull it back down.
How am I doing
Like
with the
paper
horses?
dolls, we're like, ah.
So you and the circle breakers are kind of digging out some like blankets and things like that to try to throw over the heads and
Feels good to have a spell.
you know, tying down the reins as best you can to keep them from moving or getting blown away or anything like that, you know, but you're able to finally wrestle the last one behind the wall, which is successfully brunting the wind. There's still a good amount of sand coming up over, but
Yeah.
and you're still dealing with the noise and all that other stuff, and you know, it's gonna be interesting to see how much of the sand accumulates as you're here. But it does seem like you're not going to blow away. Seems like you're not going to face the worst of the effects as it's sort of brunted. But it is. You've never seen anything like this.
No.
This is worse than any thunderstorm you've ever seen. Like, this is something else. Like,
Not that I've seen that I know of.
right. Yeah. But yeah, you're able to get it as secured as you think you can, you know, but there is lots of wind going up against the wagon covers and stuff, like threatening to tear it up, and we'll see what happens
Just gonna have to ride it out.
Yep.
as you guys.
Whoever my partner is, I lock with, like, the tail locks into, like, whatever part of them I can grab.
Who's your partner?
I don't know who is my partner. I grabbed you, so I imagine you're my partner now because I was, like, hauling ass with
I'm
you.
hanging out with Zeke because
Okay.
Zeke's gonna probably lock with you because that's what tieflings do.
Okay.
that's fine.
Who's your partner, Tarek?
Well, who was I with when I
The
Was
dumb
doing-
tiefling
was doing the
girl?
horses?
Because I grabbed
Bricky.
Zeke to help
All right.
shield wall, so I already
To
know.
she'll lock arms with you and everything.
Yep.
And, she is very quiet, very like kind of timid in this scenario.
And then the remaining three will lock up together.
Yeah, you notice Locust doesn't. He's
He doesn't lock up with anybody?
Nope.
Is that dude?
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
What happened with Locust?
No, we'll talk about that later. Yo, I would have
Basically, he's
backed you.
proud, but
That's not my friend.
But you guys, kind of collectively, like in this shelter of this wall of the ruins, basically crawl under the wagons to kind of shelter you from the sand a little bit as well, and basically hunker down. It is. Which is, there's not much else you can do. There's no hope of like fire or really accomplishing anything here. It is too loud to really communicate effectively. It is dark, but you also know that any kind of flame is going to be put out right away. This is untenable conditions. You know, and of course you're having flashbacks from occasionally being in this as a kid, and just the, you know, the bad things that can happen if you're caught out. And
Yeah.
in it, and
So,
just-
like, for a split second, like, Sarah remembers, like, when she got lost in the sandstorm by herself, and remembering, like, Callista finding her in the sand.
If you squeeze me, I'll squeeze you.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely, like, you can definitely tell that there's, like, a calmness to Asura that is not out of, like, assuredness. It's like when you're so scared you've, like, lost any connection to, like, any higher function, and you just feel like this, like, grip on your hand.
I gotcha.
Eric's watching the wagons as best he can. Like, I clearly can't see that well, but want to make sure that we've still got our cargo.
Sure. It is very interesting because it's, or not interesting, it's more, you basically spend the whole time nervous because there's a lot of creaking, like where it's threatening to tilt. It's like I said, just threatening to rip up the canvas of the covers and, you know, maybe stuff inside. You don't know. It's just, these are not built for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Like, there's not much that is that's not stone, you know? You know, so we'll see how it goes in shelter. Stoic, curiously, as you're kind of hunkered down with wait, who are you with?
Zeke.
I'm with Zeke.
You're with Zeke. You know, and you can see how nervous he is and everything like that. You kind of find yourself, your mind kind of going back to your time in the rebel camp and just those meditation times. And you kind of feel like, you know, that power that Arcthurian, you know, that connection with Arcthurian and therefore children, and you feel strangely calm in the midst of this.
And I'm using that to just go around and check every knot, like I used to watch the sailors do, and like to make sure that all the cargo is staying strapped down and nothing's coming loose and nothing's
Sure.
like.
Okay. So, you probably sit like that for, probably about, well, let's find out.
How long does this storm last?
Mm-hmm.
Please not too long. Please not too long.
You kind of find yourself sitting like that for about 4 hours.
It's a big storm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially for how fast it moved in.
Yep. Big, bad,
Uh-huh.
just, you know, pretty terrible. Not able to rest or, like I said, accomplish anything. So it's like you're just kind of sitting there
Yeah.
in miserable conditions as the sand blows and builds up.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you eventually just are seeing the sand kind of built up in between the wagons and just, you know, basically just is slowly getting darker. Not just from the sun setting, but also from the sand basically rising up around you, sort of burying you in. And after that, you know, 4 hours, you start to hear a lessening of the roar. And just over, you know, about half an hour or so, you just hear it starting to slowly lessen, to where you can actually talk to each other again, and you know, and then eventually after that half an hour or so of lessening, you know, it seems like it's not completely past, but it seems to have calmed quite a bit. You know, and so what'd you like to do?
Like a drizzle.
You know, there's still a breeze, like there's still wind, but it's not like.
I immediately say, check the horses. Somebody check the horses.
What's the damage? I'm gonna go start looking around at everything.
Okay.
Yep.
So you basically dig yourself out, kind of crawling up, you know, out of the sand of this that is accumulated on and over the wagons. Which actually fared pretty well, thanks to the wall, and successfully getting him inside. The horses look exhausted. They look not great, but they don't seem like injured or anything like that. They look miserable.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, almost up to their bodies, you know, like in sand. As is the wagons, you know, like up past the bottom of the wagon and everything.
Work to dig those out.
Yep.
Yeah, I make sure that we untie the horses from the carts and dig the horses out first so that we can get them food and water and try to get them like relatively calm so that they can rest, and then we can start digging the carts out and assess damage from that.
Yeah. So that takes you probably another at least a couple hours to dig. It's quite a bit of sand around, you know, a lot. You know, enough to get out of this is, you know, as you had dug yourself out, you look up and you can kind of see, you know, just above the canyon, the kind of massive wall of sand moving off in the distance. Not quite as abrupt a wall as before. It's, you know, it's more fading and petering off, but you can kind of see it moving off. And there's still some wind and everything like that, but it's now obviously well into nighttime, and you take a couple hours to dig it out and in the dark. But thankfully you can light torches and things like that now. The wind has died enough that you can do that. But you are, you know, after that, you are just exhausted from digging. A full day of travel, followed by digging, followed by basically being covered in sand, and it's...
Oh, that's going to be miserable.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Sarah, do you have the bag of holding? Mm-hmm. Let me see it. I'm going to pull out my orb, and I'm going to clean my stuff.
I knew that was
Because there's
coming.
only 2 of those things in there, and I'm taking one. And then I put it back in, and I had the bag back.
Who wants the other one?
As you see Stoke do this, and you just see the sand just like leaving him clean.
Who wants the other one?
Okay.
Give it to a circle breaker.
All right, and I will give it to Vecrian since he was the biggest help in getting the wind dudes. Plus, I also know that being sand bound with feathers is probably a really rough time.
He takes it and he's like, "Thank you very much."
Unfortunately, we don't have any additional ones, so we'll have to use them later once they've recharged.
It's very, very kind of you.
Thank you for talking with them.
Of course. And you see him use it, and just a whole bunch of sand, like in a kind of a puff of kind of thin brown cloud around him as he kind of shakes himself off, and now clean and fresh from...
This is where we're camping for tonight.
I don't think we can move in these wagons or these horses. These horses need rest.
That's fair.
and I don't think we have much energy to get very far.
Let's go ahead and hunker down then.
Yeah, we'll do our rounds. Before everyone packs down, give your boots a good shake. You don't want to wake up with sandy boots. So literally, you just watch me just like take my like braid and like undo it, and you just watch me like forward and just do this to just like shake my hair.
How long is your hair?
Very long. It's like down to my butt crack.
Okay.
But I always have it braided. And I'm just like shaking it out, and it's a mass of like wild curls.
Okay. So at this point, you're kind of like, you know, it's like cold now. It's later into the night, and you know, you set up camp as best you can in the midst of the remnants of the storm and the ruins and everything like that. You know, just very tired.
Now, this is up to you guys because it's your tent, but do you think maybe letting some of them sleep in the tent, alternate a little bit?
That's what we've been doing.
For everybody.
Okay.
It's the only ones on watch.
I thought they had their own tent. Or have the Circle Breakers been staying in the
That's what I.
Harry Potter tent?
That's what
They've
I've
got
been
their own
assuming.
tents, yeah.
They've been staying in their own tent.
Well, if they want to sleep in the Harry Potter tent, they can.
The offer was definitely
Yeah.
made.
A little bit more warmth, a little more comfort.
Yeah, because it's like insulated.
Yeah.
I've got like a sitting area. We've
Yeah,
got the bed
like-
area.
Insulated with magic.
Yeah.
It's a little bougie in here.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll take first watch tonight. My
Stoke, it would occur to you, because of the circumstances, this is going to drag a lot of sand into the tent.
Wait,
All these sand-covered people coming into it.
that's okay. I'm at the door with prestidigitation going, wait.
Okay.
Take your shoes off.
yeah, take
Because
it.
I can.
No, take your shoes off.
Like, This is a sacred place.
Because once it gets in there, it's not getting
out. No.
It's there forever.
Like, you ever try to shake out a normal tent? Try a magic tent.
Wait, does everything just disappear once it's folded up?
Probably. We're not going to get it dirty to find out.
Okay, Mom.
Look, I don't mind dirt. I don't mind slime. I don't mind grease. Sand? It's not okay. Sand is a different thing altogether.
Under my breath, I'm like, I like sand.
Yeah. You enjoy that.
So, tired but clean, you crawl into the familiar confines of your tent.
After breaking our watches,
Uh-huh.
we're definitely after the night
We're
before.
definitely on watches.
Yes, it is. Alert watches.
Okay. Alright. For the sake of time, nothing seems to happen throughout the night. In the kind of what seems like amplified silence after all that time, almost deafened by the wind.
Me and her talked about it. We wanted to do something before bedtime.
Sure.
Which we don't have to role play out, but I was going to have her help me refill my ring of storage. Because it's been empty for a while, and I haven't put any spells in it, and I kind of need to do that.
Okay. What do you do?
I don't know. I'm gonna look and have her put a spell in there for me.
Okay.
She's still got all
You're
her
picking
stuff.
based off of this day's spells, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
You
Yes.
go for it.
Change.
And obviously not your. Well, it's you can only do up to
Level
third
5.
Or all
So you're
5.
gonna
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
5.
gonna
So
be-
I can
you
put
can do
like
five,
I can put
go.
like a 2 and a 3 or
Yeah.
one level 5.
I
So
didn't use much at all, so you can do it.
yeah, exactly. That's why I figured today is the right day to do it.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to accomplish before you go to bed?
Yep. We actually looked at the staff, right? Did you look at the staff?
We searched together. I
Okay.
don't recall. I mean, I may have like identified or something, and you were like, "I'll get it. I'll get the info to you."
That's because you did identify it. I thought
Did
you
I?
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been getting better about that.
Sorry,
Ritual
identifying it.
identify. Huh?
Are you identifying it?
I think she did it the last session.
If not, I can do it again.
Yeah.
I can ritually cast it tonight. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, no problem.
And I had completely forgotten about it until a little while ago. I grabbed a pewter pendant from the Night Maiden's lair. I'm gonna look that over and see if I actually know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, it's not magic.
Yeah, I didn't think it was magic. I was kind of curious if it was what deity it belonged to, if I would even know that.
We can do a religion check.
That's a decent at that. 19.
Ooh.
Yeah.
19. It's not any deity you've seen.
Okay. I think after
Last year one's was fifth level. I think.
getting that information, I would probably take it over to Zanoa when she gets done and see if she might recognize it.
Okay. Make a religion check.
It's a pewter pendant I got from the Night Maiden's place.
Great. Oh my gosh. 17.
17? No, you don't recognize it.
Sorry.
It's weird. Okay. Just put it back in my bag and...
Does it look familiar to you?
No.
Insight check.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to.
I'm like, anything you say ever. Just kidding. 24.
No.
I'm on to you. Always.
That's fair.
I slacked you the basics of the staff as well. Like I said, I'll make a proper item later. But
I can look it up on mine. I'm dumping a level 5 mass cure wounds. Having her pump that into the ring.
Alright.
Just to have.
It's always helpful to have just an extra.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the parchment with the notes that I got off of the dude that came to capture you.
Okay.
It's got just
it is
mentions Hethra. It's talking about the negotiation between Hethra and the Crown of like resupplying the weapons to them instead. Just if you want to do anything with your stuff with it.
Okay.
And I will inform you guys when I ritually cast Identify with the staff that it's a +1 spell focus. And Quarterstaff, it can cast Burning Hands twice and Fireball once a day.
And does require
It does require attunement. Do you have slots?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't.
they're filled, but there's one that I just don't use.
Okay. Because I'm
So
runner.
what is it?
It's a spell focus.
What'd you say?
Quarterstaff.
So if it's a
Yeah.
spell focus,
The people?
Yeah,
is that going to affect me? Because I don't carry a
Hethra
weapon
and
in
the
one
Crown
hand so
worked
that I
out
can
to
cast
supply
Eldritch
or
Blast and all that
divert the
stuff.
supply.
Yeah, you still
Yeah, just
technically
attune.
use a focus.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Crown.
So, but if I hold that staff, I can use that to cast my Eldritch Blast?
and get +1 on your spells.
I mean, if nobody else wants it.
I don't
Look,
cast
it's all here. It
spell.
is.
Yeah, spells are not the thing I really fuck with.
I don't think I can actually really
Stoic
wield
returns to fire.
I don't know what all this
Yeah,
means.
exactly.
Holy
It is a two-handed weapon.
Oh,
Because I wanted to
Sure.
do
Is that in the public Slack or did he send it to you?
He sent it to me, so
Can
I'll.
you?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I was gonna say, yeah, send it to me.
Is it in the public?
Oh. Is that not the right term? I don't use Slack very often.
Aw.
In the general channel.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a proper item for you to add later, but
Nice.
I tried to earlier and it just didn't. It was
Demon Toad staff.
Oh, dude. I never saw myself as a staff guy. I'm like, just kind of trying it out. I'm like,
Feels
what
right.
the shit? I'm like, it kind of does.
Mine's cooler. It's
It
pink
does.
and purple, so.
What's the height on it? Is it like a Gandalf staff, or is it kind of like a?
It's for a toad guy.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Could be
that's
around
gonna
6
short.
feet.
Yeah,
size
it's
of the toad guy. Yeah,
no,
it's
but magic usually changes.
probably about 6 feet. Yeah.
6 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quarterstaff.
All right.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Walking staff, yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and it
Sometimes
does
the short
function
ones,
as a
you know.
+1 quarterstaff if that ever mattered. I mean, not likely to for
Didn't
your case,
Solomon
but
have a short staff?
He did. He didn't.
He had like
had
a
the
shorter
short
guy.
one.
Mhm.
Gandalf had a big one.
Yeah.
He was into flow staff. Just like in
Yeah.
the back, just vibing out. He was at the drum
I'm just
circle.
picturing that whole scene of them like whirling.
All that patchouli. Just vibing.
Actually vibing.
one thing to keep in mind, you do not have spell sculpting. So when you throw that fireball, be mindful of what is
Yes, I'm aware. Which is fine because for some reason all of my like AoE spells don't distinguish targets. So whenever I
Yeah.
throw out big orbs and stuff now,
He's just like.
I have to make
watching
sure
out.
like you guys can't enter it. Like
Yep.
so I'm already operating underneath that.
Sure.
We can't fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. All right. So, let's see. Somebody, if you want to, roll a d6, reroll ones.
Not it. I fucked this over the last time with my D6.
It's a 1. It's a 1. It's a 4.
4. Okay. Yeah. So it'll take. So as you guys continue on the next morning, assuming you're done for the night and anything like that. Well, let me ask you this: as you guys pick up and travel, and it'll take you a little while in the morning to get through the sand, even though you've dug out the space where you're at, to plow through and get out and everything like that. But you do eventually. Is there anything else you guys would like to accomplish while traveling?
I know that there's a lot of like documentation that we need to figure out, and I know that I made kind of like a rough inventory and like things like that. I want to work with the guys that I have with us from the Circle Breakers and start to help like develop how they can also use and implement this information so that they can train the rest of the guys, because they're going to kind of, since they're the first wave, they're kind of becoming the ones that are going to have to like train the rest of them
Okay.
on like the trade inventories and like
Yeah, I think you looked through it before, and it
Yeah.
wasn't super specific. You know, you might be able to get some like inventory systems or organizational clues or something like that out of it. So that's fine. Not necessarily like nothing about like routes or specifics around.
no, but kind
the
of
art
help get
smuggling or
them
anything
situated in
like
a place
that.
where they don't look like complete like I don't know what you're talking about if someone
Yeah.
were to ask them questions about things, like
Sure.
trying to set them up for as much success when we get there so they don't look like noobs.
Okay.
And also just to help them feel confident enough like when I'm not here
Mm-hmm.
to be able to keep things moving
Okay.
from like a more like the actual journey perspective of it, since they're gonna also get assistance from like home base back in
Okay. Fekrian will call up Breaky to actually handle that part. You know, who seems a little excited about the prospect of organizational stuff. Like she's
I love that for her. If
yeah.
she's really into organization, I'm happy to gift her that. I'm also going to kind of gift her the like how to hide information in plain sight. Like teach her some of the tricks of like how to start to like hide information on a public page where anyone who looks at it, if they don't know what they're looking for, doesn't see it.
okay.
And so like I'm going to use a lot of like the old languages and like things like that, but do it in a subtle way so it's not quite so like obvious like this is all bullshit.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, which she's into. Like she's, you know, and she confesses at one point she doesn't really feel like she's, as you talk to her, work with her, she's not like the greatest at combat, but that's part of why Fekrian wanted her was for this kind of stuff. She's gifted with that kind of work. So she just kind of takes to it and, you know, organizes, you know, and, you know, works with you to figure that out and make sure it's all kind of in order.
And I listen to her because I'm sure that she's heard things, especially because, you know, just the, like, I'm sure the breakers have also kind of, like, terms and things that they use internally. And I'm like, you can also start building your own pieces of information that, like, unless you're a breaker, you can't know what this means. So it becomes even more secret language.
Yeah. Which, as you do, is very strange because the terms they use all seem to be things like toadstool and, you know, peanut butter and, you know, just weird food or fae-oriented stuff. Like goofy stuff. You're like, I see the influence.
I do. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna marry these two together. We're gonna find a new kind of unique language for just the breakers.
Mhm.
Blessed up.
Okay, cool. So, yeah.
I do also.
Can I do a
I'm
couple
sorry.
things?
I
No, you're
did
good.
also want to look over that parchment that about the Hethra, the crown, secondary deal that was made to like move the items away from the resistance to.
Yeah, I think you already looked over that too. It was very simple. It was just conveying the idea that exactly what you already know.
Gotcha. Did we ever talk to what's his face about that? The note that we found. That his shipment was getting moved away to the crown, so the crown knew about the shipment. Our guy.
I think you did.
Our
Adris.
Yeah.
Adris. Oh, yes.
We already told him about the note.
About
Hethra and having the secondary deal with the crown.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So long as he already knows.
Yeah, he knows. Adris, we did. Adris knows that
Okay.
the crowd, the people were the one that
Was taking the
was
shipment.
trying to break the deal off in the first place.
Okay, cool.
Because we talked to him about the fingers, and he kind of explained more who they were.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that he was
There are
aware
10
of
of
it.
them.
All right, then that's all I
Just
needed.
kidding, there's not. But I wish that there was.
I was
That'd
like,
be nice.
our guy. I'm like, we got a lot of guys. I'm like,
You know that one guy we met?
No, the dude, the guy.
because like I got a weird note that says like Saldos owes us a favor, and I'm I remember who he is, but I'm like, I can't remember if that's the favor that we called in. But I thought the favor, because like I gave him information and he owes me a favor. Because the information was, you're going to set me up best you can with somebody at the port, and you're going to owe me a favor. I got an IOU. You weren't here for that.
Look at you. I love this.
From Selvanos.
Bestie.
All right.
You also don't know what I did to get that favor.
We're terrified.
Well, I sold out the prince.
Oh, yeah.
Which
It worked out.
It worked out. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I just want to make you like scared for a little bit.
yeah.
I want to not like that prince,
Which in-
but I really like it.
Me too.
Just as a reminder, you know, you are also aware that he stayed behind and talked to Hadress on his own.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Okay.
I haven't brought that up yet, but I'm aware.
Okay. Well,
Wait, can I do my thing?
yes. sorry.
Okay. My couple things. Okay. I forgot about the fact that I wanted to do this ages ago. Can I dabble with my herbalism kit
Oh, yeah.
to try to concoct a, who knows, potion of healing is the goal.
Let's see.
Concoct a concoction.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Let me see what I came up with for that. What are you trying to do?
Make a potion of healing.
Okay.
The constant imminent danger here has reminded me to do this.
I've got 2 of them, by the way.
Oh, I just want to try to do it.
Okay.
See if I can just start
Yeah.
cooking them up for us all the time.
We also had an endless one too.
Really?
We have one that refills every day.
I can also make antitoxin.
We did.
Balin had it with him.
Ooh.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, did one of our lost companions take it with him?
Balin was the last one who had possession of it.
Okay, never mind. I take it back. We don't have one.
That's why I was like, it's very important that we have Balin. For many reasons. He also was
For
carrying
his
some shit.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Not
I need
for
to hand
him.
them to you.
Okay.
Okay. We need to find an enchanter, and I want our bag of holding enchanted to where if any member of our party decides to leave our party,
All
all
their
items go back into the bag of holding. That
We
needs,
call all their shit.
that needs to be a freaking magic item. Like,
Return to sender or kind of thing.
yeah, like that.
So, for herbalism, you need 3 things. You need ingredients for the potion you're trying to make, which is going to be usually one or more specific ingredient and then general ingredients, which
Okay.
is going to translate to a gold cost.
Okay.
So that's the second thing is gold,
Okay.
and then the third thing is time. And so
Okay.
it just depends on what you're trying to make and how rare that potion is.
Sure.
So for a potion of healing, you need something. I might be butchering the name here, but you need something called red amanita mushrooms.
Okay.
But if you have that, then it's 25 gold worth of basic ingredients that are in your herbalism kit, which you'll just have to replenish every now and then, or that's what the gold cost is. It's assuming that as you can, you're replenishing in a town or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
And then basically like a full day of work, which you can.
Can I break that up?
I think you could split that up a little bit.
Okay. A few hours.
But yeah, so about 8 hours of work.
Oh, okay. Okay, good to know. Then I'll.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would say I'd
Put
let
that
you
in my
break it
mind.
up into 2-hour portions, so not less than that, but
So
probably.
4 days.
Yeah, so you would need at least 2 hours each time
Okay.
to work on it.
All right. I'll keep that in mind for when we're not here.
And that'll be intentional work, so it wouldn't be like the light work that you could do in a long rest, for example. So it'd be like it's intentional work.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Good to know. Thanks for the reminder. And then as we're traveling, I want to send messages because I can.
Oh, but it's a problem when I ask.
You can message.
Just blasting off left and right.
You should send a message to,
Zuri.
yeah.
I'm not going to yet.
Okay.
I'm cooking that up. I'm not ready for that. Okay. I'm gonna send one to homegirl. I don't remember her name. That I met at the pedals when I was drunk.
On the balcony?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nice.
I'm just gonna roleplay that I don't remember her name either. I know you told me, but I don't remember.
I think it's actually perfect. Like, hey, you may, you remember me.
Okay, I'm gonna send her a message.
I've literally done that. Hey, you.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I would say I send this message at the end of the day that we just finished because she's thinking a lot about everything that she just told everyone. She's also thinking of the pedals. We were talking about the pedals, and she was reminded of this girl, and she shared everything about her father relationship, and she talked a lot about dads with this girl. So she says,
Poured her heart out.
Mm-hmm.
"What?"
You just poured your heart out.
Yep, drunkenly poured your heart out. Which is the best way to pour your heart out, by the way.
It's not. It's
I
really
did the pedals
not.
correctly.
It's really not.
Okay, she says, "Hi, it's Sanoa. We met in the pedals. Just thinking about you. Wanted to check in and ask how things with your father are going."
Well, hello.
Oh yeah.
This is strange magic. But impressive. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm still thinking about things. What should be done. How are you?
Okay, so they're sending. I'm okay. A lot has happened since we met. But I'm okay. It's good to hear from you. Maybe I'll check in another time when I can.
I'd like that. It's good to hear from you too, and I'm glad you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe wherever you're traveling.
Is it possible to, like I'm hearing it, is it possible to try to get insight on how she's speaking to me? Like if she's, I don't know.
You mean like a mood or?
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm, 18.
18? Okay. I'd say she sounds well, I guess you were drunk before, so
Halfway through, she like gave me something that helped.
yeah, that's true. I think she sounds similar to what she was before,
Okay.
where it's like, somewhat kind of well spoken and together, but you just get that sense of like some sort of sadness underneath. You don't know what it is. It's sort of buried under, that kind of veneer of I'm okay, that kind of thing, or like she's got it together in a sort of trained way, but some sort of sadness underneath.
That's why Zenua likes her. Yeah. Okay. I'm I'm destined. Yeah, we're gonna be pen pals. That's gonna be a thing.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna send one more message, and then I'm done.
Okay.
Everyone, pick your favorite PC.
Right.
Same night. Send one to my mom.
Here's the big one.
Hey. I'm okay. Are you safe? I miss you always. I have friends now. It's awesome.
Oh, honey. I'm so glad to hear that. I worry about you. I'm really glad you have friends, and I hope you're staying safe.
That's all. I just wanted to hear her voice.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, but I didn't want to follow that. That was so sweet. Stuart's gonna try to make friends with the horses. It's like 2 weeks, right? He's gonna try to make friends with the horses, and he's going to shoot off a lot of Eldritch blasts when he feels that it's safe, so he can like practice with the staff.
I thought you were gonna shoot a fireball.
No, because like I've been shooting them from my hands for so long. I'm like, I gotta figure out how to do this.
The trajectory.
Yeah, like it's still in. So
Directionality.
he's gonna like and practice poses, but but on a more serious note, he is at one night on duty or on watch, which I would take with one of the circle breakers. I would pull out my book and I would write to Lady Empress.
Okay.
Because I don't
Was that
know.
the spicy lady?
It's the vampire lady.
I don't know if
She's
I told her
spicy,
about
right?
Valen yet.
She's like in love with everyone.
And so
She's very flirty.
yeah, I am going to write her.
I thought we did.
I thought you did too.
I actually
But even if we have, she doesn't know about Bear and Easy.
That's
And
true.
like Stoic is having a.
Because you also asked her to check in on Sarek.
Yeah. So this conversation needs to happen. So I will write her. Hey, it's been a while. And I know, I'm pretty sure we told you about Valen. But we've most recently lost Bear and Easy as well. And they're not just missing. We found their bodies. It's been kind of a rough journey recently. And our new companion that I asked you to check in on has made a deal much like one that I mistakenly made in the past, and for similar reasons, to save us. And we're trying desperately to find a way to break it, but I'm terrified because of the cost that I had to pay to break mine, that I'm nervous to help him. I know this is a lot, but I don't know who else to talk to.
So in the past, when you message her, she's usually been pretty quick to respond,
Yeah.
just with her characteristic confidence, and there's a pause this time. She says, You have no idea how difficult it is to process something like this when you're unable to cry. That's not good news. I'm terribly sorry about your new companion. I'm not certain what I can do to help, but I am happy to be there for you, and I'm glad you do feel like you can talk to me, which of course you can. What sort of trouble is he in?
He made a deal with a hag willingly and lost a large part of himself by doing so. And that was the cost. And I know that you know loss far greater than most. And loneliness because of your condition. And I was hoping you might help me decide, like, if you could sacrifice others to, or risk others to heal your ailment, would you?
I suppose that depends on who it is. But I would risk just about anything of myself to prevent ever being imprisoned again or enslaved in any way. That will never happen to me again at any cost I have to pay. But I don't know if it would be any better to sacrifice others for it. At that point, I'm not much better than my enslaver.
It was a huge sacrifice to break the deal that I had made. And I'm worried if we try to break his deal, we could risk losing more of us than what we've already lost. But I also know it's the right thing to do.
Well, I'm afraid I'm no expert on hags. What I know of them is what I've read in fairy tale books or on the lips of bards. But they're almost always warning tales of the consequences of seeking the easy way out or into something. I don't know about your friend. I don't know what the circumstances are or what. I'm assuming it was a bargain of some sort. But if he willingly entered it, perhaps it's best that he own his own consequences. Perhaps it's best that he face the results of his own choices. That's different than what you were in or what I was in.
Did you ever have any luck looking into his background? Maybe if we found some information that he's forgot, we could help use use his past memories to break the enchantment?
I did try. Unfortunately not. If he is from Bloodpool, he's not anyone of social consequence, I should say, as in titled, someone that people of those circles know.
Well, we learned recently he's a Azamar. I don't know if that'll make your search
In the order,
easier.
in the order he's from.
Well, they're certainly less common than humans.
Yeah, and I don't remember the name, but I don't give her the.
Didn't say the name.
Okay, I didn't think you did. I was about to
Blood
say.
Hunter. Yeah.
Okay, but she knows you're a blood hunter, but yeah, I don't, if you could, anything you could find would be helpful.
A blood hunter. I've heard of them. I've heard they were from here. Of course, a lot of blood-oriented magic is from Bloodpool, as you know. I can take a look, but I don't. I'll do the best I can with what time I have, but I'm going to be leaving soon.
Where are you headed?
Let's just say I have a lead.
I do hope you keep me posted.
Well, of course. There's no one in the world I would want to keep posted more. We're in this together.
Thank you for listening.
You're always welcome inside my head.
I kind of like it. I don't know why. I kind of like it.
Okay.
XO.
Yeah, and I will. I'll end that. But like. Okay.
We didn't ask how she's doing. How's her search is going?
Nope.
Typical.
Yeah.
Take, but you never give.
Alright, so you guys continue on in your journey through the desert.
I am training every morning, like while we're out in the sands, like especially like I do like runs on the sand.
Okay.
Like I'm not shirking this anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Drell will be proud. You know? So you continue on, and along the way you do encounter other creatures, other strange monsters and things of that nature, but for the most part, not anything terribly overwhelming or anything like that. At your point, you know, a lot of them are easier to deal with. They're dispatch. You know, occasional bandits once or twice. Yeah, it takes you about 13 days to get there with the weather. That's what that roll was. You know, but at the end of 13 days, you know, you crest a hill and find yourself looking out over the ocean once again, and in front of you down the road you know, much smaller than a lot of the cities you've been visiting, you know, port town of Tir Garesh. You hear, you know, Fekrian kind of nearby is kind of talking about it a little bit, and you just hear him comment about, you know, it is a place it's not usually a destination, but a place that people pass through. Nothing very much remarkable about it. But a good place to get away from the sand for a time.
Do you know if there's
Meanwhile, the rest of the circle breakers are just jaw on the floor.
This is the first time they've seen
Like-
action.
Yeah, Breeky looks scared. just eyes glued to what the ocean, to what they're seeing of this massive amount of water.
I lean to Bricky and I just go, it is the desert, but wet and and goes on forever.
I did not know there was so much water in the world.
There is a lot.
How
So
is it that anybody is ever thirsty?
It is not drinkable.
It's poison,
It's salty.
like tears.
A whole lot of tears.
Hmm.
The world weeps.
And she just sort of falls silent again, like just kind of still overwhelmed and just staring out at this desert of water, as you say. And they are all pretty subdued at that point, just like looking out at this thing. You know, Locust trying to act like it's not a big deal to him, but kind of clearly you see him looking at it too.
Yeah.
So you make your way into this town that you can see is busy. There's a good number of like warehouses. It looks like large buildings for warehouses and things of that nature. But you see a lot of like coming and going from it. You know, just a lot of as you approach about midday. Well, probably at this point you're probably late in the day. Like we'll probably say 5.
Okay.
And make your way into this town. What would you like to do?
Get our contact as soon as possible, because don't we have that contact?
Oh, three.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to just try to get us like set up for contacts and a place to set our storage,
Mm-hmm.
so that we're not just like walking around the city with a cart.
Okay.
When's the last time you reached out to the Hurricane Sisters?
I can't remember. It's been a while.
It's been, we've
Yeah.
not done that in a hot minute.
At least not since 13 days ago.
Yeah.
Actually, oh no, I asked Ilkers about the eyeball. But I did ask them about the eyeball. That was a while
Yeah,
back.
it's been
Well, we know that
It's still in their possession.
3 or 4
them,
weeks.
but we don't know where they are in the sea, or if they. Did we ask them if they could be any assistance, or?
I don't remember.
I don't think we
I
did.
think we did.
Because we got O3's contact
Okay.
from
Let's
Sylvanas.
just start there.
Okay.
I mean,
We do need to figure out where they are.
yeah.
Well, just if they're in town.
Yeah.
Like, at port. So I was like, but we don't have to message them. We can just.
We
ask
would
around.
recognize their ship.
Yeah, we can ask around.
Yeah.
It's not a big town, so.
I'm gonna get us situated with some sort of short-term storage space
Okay.
and set up that connection, because that's gonna be something that we're gonna need moving forward. Is when we arrive in town, we'll need a place where we store our cargo until we are ship bound.
Okay. I mean, 4 wagons, you might be able to find an inn. That could.
I mean, but I want to start to set up like where our storage unit is going to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Correct.
the likelihood moving forward in the future that we get to this port and we can immediately board a ship is not always going to be
Okay.
tenable. So I want to build that relationship with whoever who seems like a lower, someone who's like an up and coming storage unit person but doesn't have a very large storage unit yet. And it looks like they're trying to build their business as being like, because I imagine a lot of people own these different storage units and have their businesses as like a cargo port place. And I want to kind of look for someone who's like plucky and eager to start to build their business, so that I can kind of line their pocket a little bit and set up a good relationship where they like to keep their mouth shut.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Not looking for a lot, you know.
Yeah. I
Long list of
100% grabbed you
requirements.
and I said, we're going to start doing a little bit of people shopping.
Sure.
Okay. How much time do you want to spend doing that?
I don't mind spending a little bit of time to set up a really good
Okay.
person.
Are you doing that before or after you guys go find who you're looking for?
Let's do it before.
I'm going to do it before. I will send the guys to like,
You want us to go find Nothrin and.
yeah, if y'all want to start
And
setting,
you stay with the wagons until you find safe storage?
yeah,
Okay.
because I want to set this up for a long-term
How much
success.
convincing does this guy need? Do we need
No. I mean, I made the deal with Salvano, so I
Yeah.
talked to him. But
Did he leave you with a note?
He did.
well,
Okay.
he did. But then also, I have a dream exchange at the Phantom Rose. Was that back?
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
that's
back
not
up.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I didn't know if we had like the name of a place here that we were supposed to meet him at. I didn't-
We
I didn't-
did.
I didn't
Did
see
we not?
one. Or if we did, I didn't write it
I
down.
wasn't here for that conversation.
I
Yeah, it's-
remember that.
I don't think we did get a location.
Guess
Sailor's
so.
Vow.
The Sailor's Vow, yes.
I did write it down when you
my
told me
gosh.
about it. I literally wrote
I
Captain
just saw it
03
when
and
you
Sailor's
saw
Vow.
it. Yeah.
What's bad is it's sitting right beside his name, and I didn't even put two and two together.
Look at me, not even having even been here, and I go, tell me what I need to know. But I specifically make sure that you're with me and that Bricky is with me to look forward to, because she's going to have to be important to setting up that relationship.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me.
Can I do you have better investigation than me?
I think you do. I have 7.
No, you have better investigation than me.
Oh, yeah, it's into
I'm not an investigative
You
type
give me
person, but I will give you
advantage.
assistance.
17.
17? Okay. You find one that is maybe a little bit bigger than you need. Seemingly shifty enough, which is kind of a matter of, well, do an insight check.
There are
for me.
cobwebs here.
I'll give you advantage on that.
On insight? Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like all in all, because of the size of it and because of this guy, like basically you're kind of anticipating you're probably going to pay more than you might need to if you spent more time looking throughout the town, but you're able, it depends on how many days you want to spend familiarizing yourself with Tir Garesh. And so with the time you have, I mean, basically just an evening? Is that what you're spending on this?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to try to hope by the end of the day, like, we had...
You're at 5. You rolled in at 5, so just like through the evening?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, with the time you have, you basically feel like he can probably be trusted to do what you want, especially as time goes on, but you're probably going to pay a little bit more than you would if you spent more time.
I mean, I don't want to stay here longer than we need to.
It's going to, over the long term, it's going to add up a little bit higher than what is going to be the best financially. But if he's going to keep his mouth shut, look the other way, and I'm going to say to sweeten the deal for us, since we're going to be paying a little bit more, are you good at shifting boxes around so that they are not super noticeable?
For the right price, I'll shift him wherever you want.
This can be a very amicable and long-term relationship. So I need to know that you are very good at it.
Good enough, I suppose.
Good enough is not good enough. I need to know that you are good at it.
I mean, I think myself is good, but,
What do-
self-reflection being difficult and all that.
How many times have you been caught or inventoried by external third parties?
Well, it happens from time to time, getting inventoried and all that, it's blasted all rockins and everything, but, you pay them off, everyone's just looking to make a coin.
Of course. Has any of your inventory been removed when they do it? Or are you very good at those who pay well for their stuff to not be bothered?
Good question. No, like I said, just everyone looking to make a coin. Most people don't care that much if you know what to say, know what to pay.
I cast read thoughts on him.
Okay. Yep, that's a fair. He, let's see, crossing his mind, generally he seems to be telling the truth. Like, you know, that the people who do inspect occasionally, it's like usually because some officer, you know, you get the impression it's like some officer is trying to like make a name for himself or just something like that, but the guys on the ground don't usually care and would rather make money. So it's not too hard. He does think of a time, but you get the impression it was like a long time ago when there was like a criminal faction that forcibly removed some stuff as part of like a criminal war that he didn't really have anything to do with. But,
Okay.
you know, just one of his customers kind of got jacked, if you will. Nothing he can do about it, you know, that sort of thing. But other than that, he seems to be pretty confident.
Okay.
Could you persuade him to give us an excellent deal for long-term proprietation? We are going to be long-term friends with him. Can you help?
Get the price?
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
Creo.
Creo? Creo. We're in this for the long haul, which is very beneficial for your business. The price that you've got it at, I think in the long run, you could bring it down just a tad. Don't you think? I'll pass a suggestion on him.
Oh, well, I suppose. Just a bit.
Ugh. Girl, you're so sweet and so kind. I'm so excited for this business arrangement.
I'm known for my sweetness.
And your anonymity, your silence, and your smile.
Oh,
I'm gonna give him a little wink.
How many teeth are missing?
I cringe.
And
yeah, all right.
And I will. How much is he asking for in this like long-term arrangement?
Well, Briki actually pulls out some gold
Brilliant.
from her funding.
Freaking love her.
From the princess funding, thankfully.
Yep.
And he's able to take care of things, so.
And then I pass him a little extra to sweeten the pot for this like first time encounter to be like, I look forward to our friendship.
Okay. How much are you passing?
I'm gonna pass him an additional 5 gold.
Oh, okay.
Just like for his personal, like, this does not get allotted for. You do not put this in your numbers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Much kind of you. All right. Okay, so you guys are headed to, the two of you are headed to the Sailor's Vow?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, Tir Garesh not being the biggest town, it doesn't take you terribly long. You know, asking around, it seems to be a fairly well-known tavern. You eventually make your way there, you know, and kind of make your way into a fairly busy tavern at this point. You know, full of sailors of all kinds and travelers and things that, you know, of a slightly rowdy nature. You know, just sailors blowing off steam and that sort of thing and whatnot. You ask the barkeep, or what are you doing to find who you're looking for?
First, I'm gonna survey the bar.
Okay.
All right, Sarek. Before we ask anybody, which one of these guys do we think is over it?
I mean, I'll look around and see if I can.
We got no description. We got
Yeah.
no nothing. But I just want to like feel it out.
Yeah.
Who's got the vibe?
Yeah, like
Who's the crunchiest? Just like sailory. You know, just
The
looks.
crunch.
Yes, Captain Crunch. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Oh, yeah. Are you?
can I roll it? Because
I mean, we're doing
competing.
Yeah.
we're trying to see
Yeah,
which one of
absolutely.
us.
Natural one.
Oh!
Yeah.
You'll probably still beat me. Oh no, that's an 18. That's an 18. Perception -1, so that's a 17.
You were so perceptive.
I'm not. That's why I was like, this is not going the way that I
Well,
thought
I
it
guess
would.
I should ask. So you're doing a perception check, but you're trying to determine which one is a captain. So that'd be actually more of an insight.
Yeah, because I'm
That's
kind
better.
of just trying to feel it. I'll
Yeah,
do.
sure.
I'll do an insight.
Like you can keep that roll. What's
Oh,
your
good,
insight?
because my insight is, I think, also. Oh no, I'm +3, so that is a 21.
I'd like to roll my insight again. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm good keeping the one. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are people here?
So you see, I would say there's a number of individuals that like catch your eye,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be kind of up to you to decide which one is a captain, so to speak. But there's 3 that are kind of standing out.
Okay.
I'll say it that way. The first one is dressed mostly in white, but like looks like sailors like gear, but mainly white. So he kind of stands out from the kind of drabber things that are, and he's like very cleanly dressed, but he holds himself with quite a bit of bearing.
Okay.
You know, and
Sounds nice.
you can see another clean white hat like on the table next to a stein of something.
He even
in
takes his
front
hat
of
off
him.
while inside.
Mhm.
Double
You know,
check.
looks like a kind of middle to older gentleman with like this kind of fine trimmed beard with bits of gray in it and everything like that. And he's not looking around with disgust or anything. He just is a lot cleaner than the rest of them. Seems to be more bearing.
Okay.
The second one is catches your eye mainly because of the space around him. Because you can see in this kind of crowded tavern there is what seems to be a
Wide
bubble
berth.
of berth around
Mhm.
him, of this guy who is dressed in what looks like black robes, almost like a cleric more than a sailor, with some kind of amulet or medallion around his neck, without any kind of hat or anything like that, with these kind of sallow cheeks and kind of pale skin and everything like that, and this kind of drab look about him as he has some beer.
Are they all tieflings?
No, these are humans.
Okay.
And just kind of seems to be sitting there, but you do see occasionally people nearest to him giving him kind of nervous looks every now and then, or just weirded out maybe. It's a weird vibe. The third guy is kind of over in the corner, and you can see almost the opposite in a sense, where there's a number of people who seem to be kind of focused on him. And he's a tiefling. A blue skinned tiefling with these kind of curled ram's horn, with this mix of accessories and but like there's a lot there all over him. It just like feathers and jewelry and things like that, but none of it is like fancy. Like it all looks like it's been there for 15 years. And but he like there's a lot of like laughter and kind of attention to him as he and like you think deference,
Yeah.
It seems like he is
He's
in charge of
respected.
some. But he's also getting attention because he's sitting at kind of a little bit of a longer table with a row of mugs in front of him, and like you don't know exactly what's going on, but you look like there's some sort of drinking feat that's about to happen here in front of them.
He's holding court.
That's
To you see a bunch of sailors
Mhm.
and people.
Yep. I get distracted because I'm like, we're getting ready to sail again. I'm like, oh man, the pedals be really good right now.
Yeah. So, which one do you think?
I'm gonna lean to the bartender and go, is that man right there with all the drinks in front of him, would that be Captain Othrin?
Okay, so you're doing you see him talking to the barkeep.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you have a bet going on, so are you doing anything?
Yeah. I mean, am I doing anything with a 1?
I don't know, that's what I'm
Yes.
asking, like,
Yes.
like,
Dude.
I mean, he's not hiding it.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, just leaning in, like, I'm finding out, that's my bet.
But you asked.
took too long. Did you have...
So which one? So that's your choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you think it is?
I mean, at this point,
I lower his hand before he points at the dude that has a wide berth.
let's see. There are three choices, right? Go with
The cleric.
So what? Yeah, the cleric. I'll say with the man. Sorry, you got the one with all the drinks. He's got the. Is that the one with the weird vibe?
No, he's
No,
not.
that's the
The
clear.
happy vibe.
He's
Cool.
the happy
He's the one
Jack
holding
Sparrow
court.
guy.
I'm picking the weird vibe guy.
Yeah.
You picking the cleric? Okay.
Yeah, just a weird vibe guy.
All right.
Okay. So you ask the barkeep
I do.
after settling this between the two of you. And the barkeep says, "It's that creepy piece of work right there."
The one that he picked.
With a 1. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a good choice.
Yeah.
What made you? What tipped you off?
Intuition.
All right. Well, I mean, he doesn't look in the middle of anything. I guess we could go talk to him.
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna be a real treat to talk to. So.
I can show you what he looks like now too.
Oh,
boy.
no.
Oh boy.
I'm so excited.
Make sure everything's
I
going
wanted a
good.
Jack Sparrow.
I did too. I was like, man, that's my guy. I'm like, that's the guy that seems like he has a parrot. Like,
Yeah.
You seem like you own a parrot.
Next up, we'll do go.
I feel like that's also an insult. Like, just go to some random guy, you seem like you don't parrot.
Right.
I feel like that can go really well or really wrong. It really depends on the vibe.
oh.
Well, it's look
Oh
at it.
no, I guess I need to
What?
do this over here, right?
It's still not showing up here
Well,
either,
that's fine. I needed to hit it over here. The illustration.
but it's not showing up in roll 20 either. I don't have it on mine.
Sorry, our technology has rolled a
You're
1.
in the, yeah, you're in. I'm not, the players are set to it.
Technology handling. That one.
I mean, is anybody else in roll 20 right now? Because I don't have it on mine. It's not showing up there, and it's not showing up there.
20, but it just had the old
Do you need to
map.
zoom out?
I'm zoomed almost
Oh,
completely
I
out.
see it. It's small.
Like I haven't changed a thing in this.
Ooh.
Well, that might be why. I
Weird.
still do not see
What?
it.
Weird.
Let's see.
It is not showing
He's a
up.
creepy old man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Night at the museum when Mickey Rooney says, he looks like a weird.
I mean, it looks a little
So
distinct.
next week we'll be showing you what it looks like.
I'm not seeing
It
it.
was small and over to this side.
I've got mine zoomed all the way out.
No?
I don't have it.
Yeah, no, it should be there.
Well, he
All right.
looks kind of like like an old what's that actor's name from the 50s who did like the Dracula style acting?
Nosferatu guy?
No, not like the creepy makeup special effects guy. The
He looks kind of like a goth Moff Tarkin.
he does.
I just realized that. Goth Tarkin.
Goth Tarkin, yeah. Just in your mind, imagine Goth Tarkin.
Yeah, the.
I can't remember the actor name of the old Doctor Who. The old man. Not old, but like the old man. If like him and Malfoy had a kid.
He has a really strong widow's peak.
Yeah, he's like body, it looks like Malfoy and the old Doctor.
I don't
Like
see
the bottom
Malfoy,
half.
but I am glad that you see that.
I see it from here up.
Sure. I don't, but I appreciate that you do. I like how Widow's Peak instantly is like, well, it has to be Malfoy.
Yeah.
No one else has a Widow's Peak.
No, nobody. Thank you. I'm glad you
Hit the
did.
P.
Yeah, they must have had like heavy windshields on the voiceovers for that movie.
Oh, man.
Potter.
There's like a TikTok challenge with that guy.
All right, no.
I was trying to wait for Larry before I went and talked to him.
Yeah,
I can't get him to show up.
yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get it next
Okay.
week. We'll have an illustration for you. So as you approach him, or assume you're approaching him,
We'll approach him. Do you want to do the talking, or do you want to?
Oh, by all means.
I will. May we buy you a drink, sir?
what is it you seek?
Business relationship. We heard you're the man to talk to.
Perhaps.
Do you mind if we sit?
I suppose you may.
Thank you.
Vincent Price.
We are
Yeah.
looking for a ship that can help sail some goods. A little unnoticed.
He just continues to stare at you.
I understand that we're strangers and you may be reluctant to dive into a deep conversation, but here, and I will pull out the letter and slide it across the table and go, maybe this will help convince you that we are who we say we are. I know I didn't say who I was. Somebody's looking to do some business.
He kind of gives you this. He's just with his kind of dark eyes, just looking at you. This unblinking stare. And he finally reaches forward, kind of slowly, and just with one finger, like and like pulls the letter towards himself, and then slowly opens it.
Look, I'm very uncomfortable, okay?
And his eyes finally leave yours, and he starts to read. And then he slowly folds the letter back up and sets it gently down, and it says, "So, you're looking for passage to the other side." And that's where we're going to end.
Wait for the Vincent Price laugh now.
But then also Dr. Facilier at the end there.
I know, right?
Finally got him up.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
just need to refresh the page. Good old roll 20. Doesn't disappoint.
Have you tried turning it off and back on?
Othrian?
No, Chiron isn't. Who's the one with the boat fair?
Oh,
I would
yeah.
like to point out.
Oh,
Name to confirm.
it's I don't know. It's Charon. I've never known how to pronounce it because
Okay.
Chiron is a different Greek character.
It is, and that's what.
It's like Charon,
What are we talking about?
the boatman.
boatman.
Oh,
Charon. I just never knew how
Chiron,
to say it.
I thought it was Kieran.
See, that's.
Well, Chiron is the centaur of Greek mythology.
Yeah, I thought
Like
it was
the
Kieran.
archer.
Was like how you pronounce the boatman. Am I wrong?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Side.
All right.
Trying to take us to the other side. Like, he kind of like that's. I'm never gonna get that out of my head now.
Oh,
Like, that's how I see him. So.
So,
It's just another Disney reference for me.
good stuff. Also, very interesting way to handle the
Dr. Facilier.
air elementals.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that fight would have wrecked us.
Zanella being an MVP once again.
Oh my god.
So I was like, I can casually remove all of them from this plane.
Yeah,
I'm spelled for that.
Really creative. I really like that. Because yeah, that would have been tough. It was like you have limited visibility. All your ranged attacks would have been disadvantaged.
Yeah, I was like 60 miles an hour. I can't shoot shit.
Were you,
Yeah.
Like
were you
a
planning
lot
on a fight for like 100%?
I was planning a fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
We said
You're gonna be
nah.
like deck saves to not go prone every round.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it would have been rough.
I felt completely redeemed for not having removed curse, not having greater restoration.
Honestly, that was
had something.
Banishment was the thing to have available. And we were like, yeah, burn 6. Just burn 4 and 6. Get them the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
It was very, very good, especially considering their problem, because they literally had just found themselves on the material plane, didn't know how, and were like really ticked off about it. So they're not super intelligent creatures, so they just thought you guys brought them because they were you guys were the first ones they saw.
We didn't actually
So they were
unpack
like,
that.
they must have done this to us. We're gonna kill them.
I don't know. I don't know how they showed up.
So,
You hit him in the head.
And that is what triggered it?
You were trying to awaken his ability to find portals to other planes of existence, and all of a sudden you smack him upside the head, going, "That should trigger it." And then something from the airplane, like, did you
The
not?
lucky sock.
Did you not put all this together? I was like, that's why I punched him in the arm. I was like,
It must be this.
yeah.
To find portals, not open them and offer the ability for these things to walk through them.
We're finding out a lot about Tarek.
Yeah, I'm like, look, that was way too coincident. Like, no. Like,
oh man.
walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. Like, it's a duck.
Good stuff.
All
All right. Well, very cool. Really interesting way to handle those. That was really cool.
It's so
Really cool encounter.
It's so cool. It was
Oh, yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, we will be back next week as they hopefully begin their voyage over the sea and out of the desert, finally.
Oh my gosh.
3 episodes of making a deal, you know us.
Yeah, I anticipate this conversation for just arranging passage will be half the episode.
Let's go look for the Hurricane Sisters while they do it.
So, all right. So yeah, we'll be back next week. Looking forward to it, and yeah, we'll see you then.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.